HVAC, what do you want, bro?
Hey, how are you? Yes, the reason you should vote for Trump is because he's the best president for a lot of reasons. Do you want 10 or just one?
HVAC,
Thoughts?
you act like you've never talked to you before, bro.
Yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Just like debate me. Debate me, bro. And do you know why the whatever podcast like they only debate like mid like level like usually females.
Yeah, so they specifically like are targeting people who are like OnlyFans models, right? To try to make them look dumb, right? And they ran away from a
Exactly.
real debate. That's what it
But
is.
that is true. That is true. I agree. I agree with that. That's why I was like, "There's no way. Why would they debate them?" Anyway, because you guys certainly would dunk on them, but their debates aren't that great. So anyway, but mine
Hey, if
are.
HVAC
That's why
thinks
they
that
call
we
me the
dunk on them,
greatest.
that's
Well, I
crazy.
mean, they don't call me the greatest for nothing, guys. I'm just saying. And here's the thing, because
It's tough, HVAC. Well, tap that screen, everyone. Let's run it up to 100,000 likes. Share the live as well, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. It does not sound like it's sending, or look like it's sending out right now. It wasn't sending out in the first one. Hopefully we can get it out. Womp womp in the chat, everyone. Womp womp in the chat. Can we get some womp womps? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
47.
Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump 2024. And I think you were scared to debate the greatest. Bye.
I've debated him a million times. Why are you going to vote for Trump in 2024? Oh, he ran away? That's funny. Dude, I've already debated that guy, HVAC so many times, bro. I'm not debating HVAC again, bro. It's so boring.
I think we
Yes,
should
yes,
vote for
appreciate the subscription.
Trump.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
They're minor. We're gonna give it a second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Hopefully, we are sending out this time. It does look like it could possibly be the case. All right, we're gonna wait for people to send a guest request. Please, again, everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Everyone.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, Powell with you? Hello?
Yeah, hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Are you gonna vote for Trump?
I might. It depends. Did
What
you
does it
hear
depend on?
did you hear what Trump did with TikTok? Like now he's trying to ban TikTok, and that's what
Wait,
I don't
did I
understand.
did I or have I
Not
already
Trump, I
talked to
mean
you?
Biden. Huh?
Have I already talked to you?
I came in on a debate that you were doing the other day, but it wasn't about the Trump topic, so no.
Oh, okay. So then, what's the relevant difference between Trump and Biden so far as that you want to vote for Biden? I mean Trump.
Um, I probably okay, so it's about the whole TikTok thing that what Biden is doing. He's trying to block TikTok, like for what reason? Like I don't know.
He
There's more
signed
important
he
issues
signed the
going
bill, and
on.
it was like with a lot of the other things, it's likely to get held up in Congress. But I do think this is something that could cost him the election. Now, do I think I'm going to vote for Trump because Biden is signing a bill that's going to ban TikTok? No.
But look at all the things that Biden has done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like I gave Biden like, you know what I mean, more than one chance, but like, he's been fucking up everything, like Biden is he's like,
Like, what do you do? Name one thing you disagree with.
not only that, but Biden has been not like not providing basically like I remember one time he said that he wasn't gonna like deal with the whole like um wait, let me think. Wait one second. But like yeah, other than that, the TikTok thing is just the main thing that I came up to discuss about.
Is that all you know? You don't know anything else about him?
Um oh
Like, you
yeah,
don't
and his
know one thing you
comments too.
dislike about him?
Yeah, but there's other things too. It's the comments that he made. Have you seen like a couple of days ago, Biden has said that he said that his uncle was eaten by cannibals, and NBC reported on that. Like the guy doesn't really know what he's
I
eating.
did see that. I think that was wrong. Obviously, I'd have to hear more context of what was going on in that circumstance. Obviously, that does sound like he's like speaking nonsense.
Yeah, he always does. He made multiple nonsense
I wouldn't say he
statements.
always does, but I would say that Trump specifically does similar things where he'll say things that don't make sense. He'll talk about countries that don't exist, right? Or in context in which it's not referring to that country.
I agree with that, but my main thing is like,
He didn't say that
you
if
know
you're
what I
actually
mean?
listening to the speech. I mean, I don't know, chat. I actually did see a clip of him saying that. It could be like not true given context, though.
Yeah, my main thing is that you know what I mean. Like Biden is so worried about an app. Like he should be worried about his son, Hunter. Like how you worried about an app when your son's on crack? Like it makes no sense. Like Hunter Biden is right now. You know what I mean? They caught him with that crack rock in
He
the
just
White
said the
House. Is
uncle
he
went
under
missing
time?
where cannibalism is known to exist. Okay, well, I mean, if he's just saying that, then he didn't even say anything incoherent. We just
Huh?
misunderstood it.
No, no, no. He said misinformation because he said that the plane was shot down and the plane was never ever shot down. The plane, what happened was that the plane actually crashed. Like I looked it up. The plane actually crashed. It crashed in the ocean. So what? There's cannibals now in the ocean? Like what's Biden talking about? Like, you
I
know what I
mean,
mean? He's senile.
obviously, it
He's
could be
old
in
as
a
fuck.
particular area in which it could be the case that, like, there were people that are I mean, obviously engaged in those particular behaviors. That can be the case. I would have to like look in that region. You'd have to give me reason that. I mean, that wouldn't be true. I'd have to see that.
It's not like it's on. I would have to look it up, but I saw it
Sure,
on
sure.
TikTok. It was on I think NBC covered it and then they like debunked it. They're like, yeah, what is he talking about? That plane was never shot down. The plane crashed in World War. I think what was it like World War I or two, something like that. And he was never eaten by cannibals. His uncle just ended up drowning in the ocean. That's what happened, or he just died in the crash.
Sure. Let's say that he did say something incoherent there. I think that we also see it there with Trump as well, right? That would be one thing. Two things I would ask you. What's one policy that Donald Trump influenced to get passed that benefit the middle class?
Um, Pretty much nothing. But again, I'm not like a Trump supporter. I just came
What's
on
one
here to
policy you
just
like of
debate
Trump's?
that to debate that reason. Well, I just like that Trump, you know what I mean? Like Trump did say that he would ban TikTok, but he also said that later on he changed his mind. He was like he didn't want Zuckerberg getting
What do
all the
you like of
business.
Trump?
No, I'm saying that he said that he wouldn't ban TikTok. He said that.
Again, he said that now, getting that changed. I'm talking about what policy do you like of his? In one
I'm
policy.
not a Trump supporter, so I don't really
Yeah, you're
have any
voting for him?
policies to
Why are you
like.
going to vote for him?
No,
Yeah, you
I
don't
said
know
I
a single
might.
policy that he voted for.
Remember I called in. I said I might. I never said I would.
Say that again?
I said I might.
You
I
might
never
what?
said I would.
You might what?
I might vote for him. I said that
Okay,
over
okay.
the whole TikTok
So,
ban because a lot of people use TikTok to get money. I mean,
is
like,
that
what
the
would you
only
do?
reason?
I mean, what would you do? Wait, question for you. What would you do if TikTok's banned? Like, where would you go? Go to YouTube? Like,
Yeah. I'm not worried about my particular job. I'm worried about how people are going to be in this country.
I'm just worried about the end of the day because I'm an entrepreneur and I make my money through TikTok. So I'm just worried about the end of the day about how I make my money. And if a president's gonna ban and prevent me from getting money, then fuck him. You know, get him out of here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Get
don't
the
think
other
that's a good
guy
enough
in.
reason to vote for Trump, though, right? When Trump's a threat to this country, right? He's undermining our American democracy by not accepting the results of a fair and democratic election, right? That's quite literally undermining our ability to be able to hold politicians accountable, because that's the basis of democracy. His tax policy took money from poor people, gave it to rich people. He called specifically for the death penalty, which 4% of people on death row are innocent. He put multiple Supreme Court justices in office to overturn Roe versus Wade that led to 13-year-olds in this country being forced to go through pregnancies. He constantly specifically called for them to repeal the ACA, which would put tens of millions of people off of health insurance that takes care of them, along with he didn't have any type of plan to replace it, right? He willfully
Yeah, I never
maintained
said.
documents, right, and actually bragged about it. We have literal video or audio of him specifically bragging about having particular declassified or not non declassified documents, right? They were still classified. He said, "I would have classified them if I could have," right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
was
yeah,
showing
yeah.
them to a buddy because he likes them.
Yeah, yeah. I never said. Yeah, I never said that Trump was a good guy or anything like that. Like, honestly, I believe that both sides, Democrat or Republican, they're both puppets. You know what I mean? They're both controlled by the elites. The elites control
Who's
the
the
entire
puppet? So
system.
the elites. Who are the elites?
The elites are, you have to understand, Parker. The elites are the ones that really control the system. Like, we're living in like the Matrix. You understand? The elites are the ones who have all the wealth. They stay behind the scenes. You don't get to see them. You know what I mean? When Biden, there's no CNBC cameras. There's nothing that records when Biden meets up with the elites. They tell him what to do. So either way, these people are
Yeah, I don't know
controlled
who
on
these
strings.
elites are, right? Who are you referencing specifically?
What do you mean? The elites are they're the ones that are in charge. That's what I'm saying. They're the ones that actually really
The
run the country in
politicians?
the direction. No, not the politicians. A lot of them are
Who?
puppets. You know what I mean?
Who?
I don't know exactly
You don't
who
know
they
who they
think.
are, but you think that they exist? What makes you
Of
think that
course,
they
of course,
exist?
of course they do. What do you like? Why do you think things are the way that they are? Why do you think
On Carrie,
that
thank
the
you for the
house?
galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, on Carrie.
Why do
W
you
on
think that
Carrie.
the housing Parker? Why do you think that the housing crisis has never been solved? Education has never been solved. Think about it. Decades have
Because
passed in
there are
America.
corporations that do influence the context of our political system. But that's stuff we can see. It's
Yeah,
not shadowy. It's not some small group that's controlling every aspect of our system. It's because they have money. It's because they have power that allows them to
yeah. The
influence
elites.
it. Hold up. That allows for them to influence it to a greater degree than here, like we do. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much, Jessica. That doesn't exist around the entire like world, right? So when you say that, like the elites control us, are you just saying that like big corporations where it is the case that people have money just influence the politicians, and that's what you're talking about?
I'm just saying the elites are. It could be. I mean, the elites are the richest of the rich. That's what I'm saying. They all come together.
Yeah,
They
but you're
tell the
trying to say that
president.
there's like some specific group of people that controls all of society, which is not true, right? There's lobbying that in which people can literally influence politics, right? That is something we can literally see and we have evidence for. But if you're just like prescribing something without any evidence, right, you're just engaging in baseless conspiracies.
I'm not. They're the ones that are really in control. Why do you think that when
But you don't
certain
even know who you're
policies
talking
are in
about,
place?
right? Unless you're referencing literally the private lobbying.
No, it's not just private. Private lobbying is a part of it, but I'm saying that they're the elites. There's a group out there really rich. You know what I mean? They control behind the scenes. President's
Lord
nothing but a
Voldemort, I
puppet.
appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
Biden is nothing but a
And
puppet. You
Fold
know what I
Keys,
mean?
that's what you have no evidence for. That's a baseless conspiracy theory.
It's not. Why do you think certain things won't get passed? Why do you think when they always
Because
get
of
close to
private
pass,
lobbying, because of
like free
corporations
college,
making
like
money,
free community
corporations
college,
making
never
money
passed it.
off of these particular types of policy, right? They have a financial influence to be able to do that, or
Oh
financial
yeah, someone
incentive.
said it in the chat. They said the Rothschilds. Yeah, the Rothschilds. They're a part of it.
Yeah, these
The
are
royal
just all
family.
baseless conspiracies, right?
The
When you
royal
say the
family is a part of it
Rothschilds
too.
control everything, you have no sufficient evidence to indicate that.
Yes, they do. The Rothschilds, literally, they're a part of why Israel. I don't want to get into, controversial out here,
Can you
but
give
yeah,
me
they're part of the
evidence?
reason why Israel.
Hey, Fold Keys, I'm just
Um,
asking you to give me evidence about the
okay,
Rothschilds here.
evidence. I would have to like pull it up, but I
You don't
forgot the name
have
of the
it? It's just
Rothschild.
bullshit, straight bullshit, baseless
No, it's
conspiracy
not. Look
theories.
it up. Look it up. You can look it up at your own time part. But I could try to find something now, but I'm probably not. But
Appreciate the hanging
um,
lights. Thank you so much, Corvette.
yeah, the Rothschilds literally they're a part of the reason why the state of Israel has been established. Why do you think all our money right now is going to Israel? You know what I mean? America wants Israel to be there because
So I like how
Israel
you're
is our eyes and
associating.
ears.
So actually, you have no evidence for this. This is why this particular type of conspiracy theory is rooted in anti-Semitism. It's because you're not using this as a critique
How
of
is that
Israel. You're
how's
using
that
this as a means
anti-Semitism?
that they, through the context of Israel, control every aspect of society. This is the same as every other baseless conspiracy theories that promoted particularly individuals who were Jewish, controlling central banks and controlling every aspect of
They
society.
did.
Which
Amschel
again,
Rothschild
there is no
cornered the central
sufficient
bank back
evidence
in
to indicate
19.
that. You
Yes,
claim
there
this
is.
bullshit. What's the evidence?
What's his name? Amschel Rothschild, or what's his? I think that's his name. He cornered the central bank back in. I don't know the exact dates. That's the thing. I don't know the exact dates, but I
No,
know
give me
after World
evidence that
War
they are
II.
currently controlling things.
Yes, they do. They control everything, Parker. They
What's the
run this. Why do you
evidence?
think I call it the Matrix? They control
Hey,
everything. They
Fold,
run
what the
this thing.
fuck is the evidence? I'm
The
asking you
evidence.
that.
I'm looking up right now. Just wait. Patience. Just wait. Let me
I'm being
see.
very patient. Can't
I
wait.
don't
I
know
can't
off the
wait to
top
see
of my
this
head.
evidence.
I just know that. Okay, think about it for a second. Israel, where is it located? Located in the Middle East, right? Why do you think there's all that war in the Middle East? Do you really think 9/11 actually happened? What do you think is really going on, Parker? You don't know
So
the
you're
truth.
just engaging in bullshit, right? Can you give me any evidence that 9/11 did not occur? We can
No,
literally
it
show
occurred, but I'm
clear
saying, why do you
evidence
think it
that it
occurred?
occurred. We can show clear
No, I'm
evidence that
saying,
it
why
was
do you think
not a
9/11?
baseless.
No,
What are you saying?
no, I'm saying, why do you think 9/11 occurred? It occurred, but I'm
Oh,
saying,
okay.
why do you think it
So
occurred? What's the
So
reason?
yeah, I mean, you could see particular influences from Osama bin Laden claiming that he wanted to do this for the context of like Palestine, for the U.S.'s involvement, right, in these acts of terror worldwide. That was the justification provided by these particular individuals that you can read into. Okay,
That's what they
all of
tell
this is
you.
public information. Okay,
That's
you
what they
can
tell
sit
you.
here and you can try to act like there's some small group controlling every aspect of society, right? But you actually have zero evidence indicating that, right, at all.
The terrorist thing is a made up reason. Who was Osama bin Laden trained by? Let me ask you that. Since you
Say that
know it all,
again.
Parker,
I
know it all,
don't.
Parker.
I promise you, I don't know at all.
Who trained Osama bin Laden?
I
You should
don't
know.
know.
It's the CIA. The CIA. They trained
I don't
Osama.
know about trained, but they funded the Mujahideen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the real reason why we went into the Middle East and the whole reason why we went in there is because of the oil. Even Trump said that. He said, yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm
we're
not
getting the
disputing that,
oil.
and I don't agree with the U.S. going to like the Middle East for oil,
And
right?
George Bush sacrificed like how many people died in 9/11? Like 2,000 people, 3,000. George Bush sacrificed those lives. Why do you think George Bush was that day of 9/11? He was reading children's book to kids at an elementary school because he planned it all. He acted like he didn't know what was going on. He
Wait, just
planned that.
because, wait, you literally saying because he was reading a book at a children's let me add like an
It's a setup. It
elementary,
was all
a children's
premeditated.
book means that he's premeditating this is ridiculous.
It was the plan.
That
Why do
is
you think the
so
radar was
ridiculous. Can
okay?
you
Okay,
give me
so
any reason to
if that was
believe? Hey, hold up, hold up.
okay,
Can you clarify this inference? Clarify this inference. How do you go from he is literally reading a book to children to he did this to have an alibi for the conspiracy? What the fuck are you talking about?
no, think about it. There's too many coincidences on 9/11. Okay, so you turn off the radar for a drill, right? But like, why would you turn off your radar during that time, that day? That makes no sense. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
So
the
your
festival.
radars
Thank
turn
you so much.
off.
Well, radar specifically.
The military, they were doing drills that day with planes like flying in and out. So they're like, okay, let's turn off our radar. So we can't like detect. So they couldn't detect anything going on in the East Coast. So like you know what I mean? And then they said,
Can you give me a source?
sure, yeah. The military drills radar off 9/11.
And is
Let me
this
see.
something that they don't do ever? They never turn off radar?
Um, they do, but only that's what I'm saying. On that day, they turned it off. I'm trying to find it.
Do they ever do it typically? Like if they do it typically, that would make
I'm not
sense.
sure if they do
And
it
if you
typically.
like, so can you give me any evidence that they do that? Can you give me any evidence that it's like not common?
Um, is there a way I can like if I like bring up like
At what
without like
time?
turning off the live? Um, I'm trying to see Northeast headquarters obtaining 30 hours, never release tapes from Norridge. Nah, this is blocked.
Matt, did you already see this? You can send a request, Matt, if you know something about this. Go for it, man.
Yeah, have them do that. Because I remember seeing it somewhere that the military they were doing drills that day and they like turned off the radar.
The military turned off the. So I'd have to see this specifically.
Or is it Air Force? It says why did the Air
Hey,
Force? Oh,
also,
what's
by the
it?
way, I just want you to let you know what makes you think that even if this was true, let's say it is true that they did turn it off. Where's the inference here that because this is the case that there's a conspiracy? Isn't
Because think
Matt on a
about it.
plane? Wait, Matt. Oh, wait.
Hmm.
I don't even know. Chat, I have no clue. He didn't send a guest request yet. He was texting me, so I don't know. He could be on a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah, and the thing they said, oh, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Like it was by demolition, Parker. Do you see the way that the Twin Towers how it fell down when the tower fell? It did a pancake effect. It like boom, boom, boom. Like you know what I mean? Or did it fall straight? Wait, let me make sure to see how it fell exactly. But that way, how it fell down,
He is
that's
in a
the way
plane,
how
chat.
buildings fall down when you put bombs on them for demolition.
Yeah.
So
So this is all conjecture that you're positing, right? I've seen that you can literally go to like they have explanations, right? That they've posited specifically for why it operated this way. This is not going to be in my specialty or your specialty. Appreciate the sunglasses. Thank you so much. Right. So we're going to all rely upon the claims of the experts here, right? I don't think that there's sufficient experts indicating that, right, that there isn't an
I'm
explanation,
talking.
right? I can
Yeah,
provide you a source that goes over all of these as Q&A fashion and
yeah.
explains this. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I can send that to you. If you want to DM me, I can send that to you. Just DM me. And
All right,
I'll hit
sure.
you up with that. Because I don't want to make
Yeah.
this into a 9/11 conspiracy did it
Okay,
occur
but
video.
not
I don't
9/11,
even
but
think that so like again, I think that you just believe, right, like that things are controlled right across the board for no reason. Right? Like for example, I'll ask you a few questions, right? Do you
mhm.
think that if it is the case that there is a small group of people controlling every aspect of society, that they would control the explanation? I mean, like the media, like all aspects of media.
Yeah, like okay, so the
Okay,
thing
so
is
like
that media
social media as well.
no, social
Why
media,
not?
why do you think okay, this ties back into Biden. 'Cause I know some people in your chat, the chat was like, this guy, he's getting off topic. But why do you think that Biden and these guys want TikTok gone? Because TikTok, they can't control it. That's the thing. Zuckerberg and
But
Facebook,
they
they can control
can
that.
control Instagram. They can control
Elon
Facebook. They
Musk
can
and Twitter,
control.
yeah, they can control that. But I'm saying that with the whole TikTok thing, you see the stuff on TikTok, right? Do you see like it
And
explains
wait,
these
they
things?
can't control it. I thought they controlled every aspect of our society. How could they not control one of the biggest social media platforms to ever exist?
TikTok, because again, TikTok is that's why they made up the whole China thing. They can control it, but the thing is that they're afraid of certain information on there.
So
TikTok
they
says
can control it. If they can control it, how come they are not? Because you said the
American free
expectation is that they do control the media, which would include
well,
social media.
social media is more open than regular media. Regular news media, like when you watch Fox, ABC, NBC, whatever, they can control the narrative easy because they can show you the camera, they'll show you one side of a perspective, but they're not
You
going to
can
show
do.
you the
By
other
the way, you
side.
can do that on social media as well. Just letting you know. Too,
Social media,
as it relates to this, did you?
but
I
it's
mean,
harder
again,
because
you're not explaining again this specifically because you would
no, because
expect.
social media is
Well,
more.
listen. On social media, if they rig everything, can't they rig the algorithms?
They could, but the government doesn't really have control over that. That's what I'm
So
saying.
they don't. So I thought they controlled every aspect of our society. You said that
No,
they
they
have full
control
control over the media.
main media, like mainstream media. I mean, as in ABC, NBC,
Appreciate the
CNN,
subscription. Thank you
those
so much,
types of
Amber.
things. Why do you think on
Why do they
the
only want
Palestine and
control over mainstream media and not other types of
why
media?
why do you think on the Palestine and Israel thing? Why do you think they
Answer my
only
question.
show you? Huh?
Answer my question.
Why do you think that they want mainstream media and not social media?
Yeah.
They want to try to control social media. That's why they're trying to do the
Why
whole
haven't
thing
they
on
controlled
TikTok.
it from the beginning? Because if they control
Um,
every aspect of our society, they control when different technology is released. They controlled when the technology of the internet and our iPhones have been released, right? So everything required to be able to engage in particular different type of social media like this, or would have come from technology released by these particular types of quote unquote elites that you believe control the entire world. So why would they give us this technology that we could then use to understand these different types of issues if they didn't
I
have
mean,
full
it is
control over
controlled
it?
on a level. Think about it. YouTube has certain censorship on certain things you can post.
It's very
Twitter, I'm
minor,
pretty
right?
sure.
Very minor. You would expect that all of these different types of conspiracies were immediately like taken off the platform. You wouldn't expect information like this that would even be able to spread.
Yeah, but the thing is with social media, it's just more open how they lead it because they know the masses are just gonna tune into the mainstream stuff. They know that at the end of the day, what's established. At the end of the day, people
Why
trust
would they
Fox,
want to reduce
NBC,
their
and
control,
ABC.
right? That just seems incoherent.
I don't know. I don't know the elite plan. I'm just telling you what they're doing. That's
Wait, but you
all.
said that they have full control over our entire society, but they don't want as much control here. That seems to go against what our expectations would be
Because
for a being or like a set of group of people that would control every aspect of our society.
they censor it to a degree, but at the same time, they're not too worried about it because they know that at the end of the day, because think about it, where does the brainwashing start? It starts in the schools. That's what it is. It starts in the schools when you're a kid. What do? They brainwash you. They're there to work a 9 to 5, this and that. The school system that's been set up and given us today is actually based on the Prussian education system, and it's meant to turn people into 9 to 5 workers. That's where it starts with. So they program you since young, so they already know. Why do you think they have you do the Pledge of Allegiance? To pledge your allegiance to the country because they want to turn you. basically into a robot.
I don't know who
that you
they
follow
is,
everything
right?
they say.
We have education to be able to, right, increase access to democracy, specialize labor forces, right, lead to a greater amount of like a long run aggregate supply, right? Those are reasons why we have education, right? You're superimposing these particular types of norms as it relates to, oh, they're trying to make it so that we're a 9 to 5 worker, simply because typically people are 9 to 5 workers. You understand that obviously education is about making you ready for a life later on. So
Yeah, but
why would
education
they
also.
give you so are you arguing for us to have things that are relevant to our lives or for us to have things that are less relevant to our lives?
No, no, okay. There's nothing wrong with 9 to 5, but I'm saying that they also control what you learn. Instead of teaching you other things that are going on within the world, think about what you learn in
That's
history
how
class.
school works, right?
No,
You
but
teach certain things, you don't teach everything.
yeah, but it doesn't make you a well-rounded individual. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It
well
just
then
makes you
argue
it
for
turns you
better
into a
schooling
drone.
systems, right? You're not arguing for like, oh, there's actually some conspiracy here. You're just saying that the way we currently run schooling isn't effective.
Okay, think about the history book. The history book in school, when they give you, they're shortening the slavery chapters. So like slavery never existed. They're shortening that down. They're not telling you certain things that have went on or what's going on in the history book. They're making it shorter and shorter, and they're leaving out
So
important
again,
things.
the way that we particularly conduct school is impacted by the racist culture that we've existed in, right? Which
But
has
this is all by the
removed
elites. It all
particular types
ties
of
back.
stories as it relates to the context
Who
of
does it tie
slavery, as it
back
relates
to?
to the context of bad things happening. And you know who that's being proponed by? Trump and the Republicans.
Yeah, but I'm saying at the end of the day, though, even Trump, even he's a puppet of the elites. That's what I'm saying. All these guys you
So
see
then why are
around here
you
are
going to vote
puppets.
for a quote unquote puppet of the elites?
It's two puppets, man. You either
If
choose.
you
I
think
said
it's a
might.
puppet of
I
the
said I
elite,
might.
why are you
I
going
said
to
I
vote?
might. Might means that I might. That's what I said. And
So
because
you're
it's a
not
tough
going
thing.
to because you
It
think he's a
depends. That's
puppet
what
of
I'm
the elite.
saying.
What does it depend
Yeah.
on then?
It
Sounds like you're
depends
just
on.
wasting my time.
I'm not wasting your time. I'm trying to prove a point, but I think you're just missing it overall.
No, you're just giving me baseless conspiracy theories rather than engaging with right the conversation of whether or not you'd want one or the other one. If you're not going to vote in general, obviously
I'm
it's
just
not
saying
even going to be
Trump's a better.
relevant to
He's a
engage
better
with you.
choice right now. But I didn't really want to like go like dive all the way deep into that. I was trying to show you how the whole Israel Palestine. I'm saying where the money is going and stuff like that. I'm saying the whole system. And you're like, oh, I don't know about the elites. I don't know anything about that. All I know is about the Democrats. And I'm trying to show you that look, man. Like either way,
Your recollection of this conversation is ass. Okay,
how?
bro, you just said I don't know anything about the elites. That you think that's what my total response was to this? I'm saying you don't have any evidence to justify the position you have, right? If you have no evidence to justify the position you have, it's not relevant to
I
determine whether or not you're going to
do.
vote for an individual. You're not engaging rationally here. You're
Okay,
engaging based upon what your feelings are, what makes you feel comfortable, and conspiracies ultimately make you feel comfortable,
no, it's
make you
not a
feel like you have an
conspiracy.
explanation for
A
things, right?
conspiracy is a
And when in
term that
reality,
the
the right
FBI came up with back in like
what's
19 something
reality is that you're
to
gonna
deny the
it
truth.
takes a lot of work to fix things, right? We have to deal with issues that we have because the system that was set up from people here before us, right, isn't always the best. Okay, so it's not always explained by a random small group of people controlling everything. Oftentimes it's explained by inadequacy in our state and local governments and in our economic models and the way that we interact with people, right? Those are oftentimes the explanations. You have to
So
give
you
me
really
good
believe
evidence to
that,
indicate that the explanation is some sort of special group that controls everything.
and you really believe that. So why do you think all our money is going to Israel? That's what I'm saying. All our money right now, 200. How much did they say? $200 billion a month or something like that is going to Israel. Like what was the last amount that
Because American politicians are deluded into believing that the only way in which you can have democracy in the Middle East is through the context of a genocidal state like Israel, right? Which is absurd, right?
but
And I
it's more than
agree it's
that.
absurd, but that comes from inadequacy, a lack of accountability, right? And people not being involved in American politics to the degree that they should be. Because you feel
Parker,
disenfranchised and because you don't want to vote, it impacts how many people are actually going to go to the polls and it impacts people
voting
who get
doesn't do
elected.
shit.
And people like
Think
him are
about
more
it.
susceptible to get elected because of conspiracies and bullshit that you believe in.
Think about it. They present us the politicians. We all we do is select. You know what I mean? They present us the choices. It's like you know what I mean. It's like your mom giving you dinner and then says, "What do you want, chicken or beef?" You only get two choices. There's no other choices available. You
Yeah, so
understand?
like let's change the system insofar as that we can actually create ranked choice voting, which makes a third party system actually reliable. Okay, work on actual solutions rather than pointing bad system, right? Because you saying bad system doesn't actually fix anything. It doesn't actually change our society
But
for
I'm
the
saying the
better.
system
Better.
is rigged.
It
The
gets
game
you
is
to
rigged,
continue
Parker.
believing that
That's what I'm
everything is
saying.
out there meant to go against you, rather than acknowledging that the system here fucking sucks. It's gone against significant amounts of people, right? And we need to change it insofar as that it doesn't, right? We have to do something. We are the ones to fix it. And if you
Yeah, but
don't vote, you're not going to do shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying the real reason is that where Israel, think about where Israel is located. It's located in the Middle East. So we arm them with what? All our nuclear weapons. That means that anyone
I
over
disagree with
there.
arming Israel.
So what? So Biden never sent any sort of arms,
I never
anything
said he
to.
didn't, right? He definitely did, and I disagree with that. I'm not saying Biden is an angel. Biden is the greatest I've ever seen. What I'm saying is that Biden is not as big of a piece of shit as Trump is. That's what I'm
But he,
saying.
but I'm
Is
just
that
saying
clear?
that they're both pieces of shit. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying
Yeah,
that who's
wait,
the
is that
less?
not what I just
But who's the
implied?
less?
I said they
Yeah,
are
but I'm
both
saying.
pieces of shit, just one's a bigger piece of shit than the other one.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm saying that right now with this TikTok ban, I'm saying that I'm looking more toward Trump. I'm saying that look, this is the guy, you know what I mean? Because at this point, it's like, like 25, I forgot how they said how much. I think it was 25 billion. That's how much TikTok generates for the US economy. When that goes away, a lot of people, Parker, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna go homeless. And I know that you live in Cali, right? I think you said that before in a live stream. Yeah, so if you know LA and you know Skid Row, a lot of people are gonna be homeless on the street holding up signs that I need food. That's what they're gonna do because when TikTok's gone, they're not gonna be able to generate their income anymore. What are they gonna do? That's what I'm saying.
Go get a different job?
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They want you back on the 9 to 5 line. That's what they want you
Wait,
to do. That's
that's
the
like
predator
any other
elite.
type of business, and I've already given my response to this, right? I've given you a
Yeah,
response, right? What did I
yeah,
say?
yeah. But you said that I forgot. You said something about that in any form of business, something
It's likely
about.
to get held up by the courts, one,
Yeah,
right? It's not likely to go through the context of the court system because they're not treating other social medias this way. For example, I'm pretty sure there was a court case in Montana where that TikTok won, right? They couldn't ban TikTok because of constitutional protections.
yeah, but yeah, TikTok has won that, but for Biden to sign that, because remember he said before, he's like, yeah, if this passes my desk, I will sign it, and he did sign it, and I'm like, why? Why are you so worried about an app when your son's on crack? Again, Hunter Biden is literally smoking his crack pipe right now.
I don't see how that
Literally,
has
you should be
any
worried about
relevance.
that.
Hey, by the way, you can't say that. You can't say that's TikTok TOS, right? You can't say that.
Oh, I
TikTok
can't say
TOS.
the C word. The C word.
Yeah, yeah. Secondly,
Okay.
right, it is the case that that's not even relevant. He's 50 fucking years old. How is that relevant to the country? How is that relevant to what he's doing?
He covered that up. That's what I'm saying. He's a scumbag. He's literally Sleepy Joe. The guy literally covered that
Trump
shit up.
literally
How do
fell
you
asleep
cover?
in court twice. If anyone's sleepy, it's Sleepy Dawn, who fell asleep in court twice.
But I'm saying covering up your son doing drugs. Like, come on, man.
Trump
Like,
fell
that's
asleep
not
in
right.
court twice. Literally, Trump's kids have also done stuff like that.
In the White House.
You have no evidence he did it in the White House.
I'm just saying, stop worrying
You're
about an
just
app
making
when your
shit. Wait,
son.
wait. When you make shit up, I call it out and you just ignore it. You just
They
go on to the
found it.
next thing.
What do
The
you mean?
next bullshit
It
claim
literally
comes
made the
from
notes.
the one you just
Parker,
claimed and
Parker,
ignored that I
Parker, man.
critiqued.
It literally made the news. It literally made the news. What are you talking? Are you asleep? Were you sleeping under a rock, Parker? Like
What
literally,
made the
that
news
that made the
specifically?
news. That made the news. They found Hunter Biden's rock. Sea rock. I'm not gonna say the word
No,
sea
that's
rock. They
not that
found
that you do not know it was Hunter Biden's. One and two,
Hunter
it was
Biden's sea
literally
rock.
it was in the tourist area. What are you talking about?
They found Hunter Biden's sea rock in the White House,
You have no clue. No, that's a
and they
complete
found his
lie.
pipe.
You're
They,
completely lying. You're
they found his
completely
pipe.
lying.
They found his pipe, and they found his sea rock in the White
Dude,
House.
you're literally completely lying.
I'm not lying. So what did they find? What did
Can
they
you give
find
me
then?
evidence? Give me evidence that it was Hunter Biden's. You just got an age restricted because you said the word.
What?
I told you, man. I literally told you it was gonna happen. I told you. Let's go to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Oh my gosh, is that me?
Yeah. Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Oh my gosh, I wish there was someone else I could vote for besides Biden and Trump. I really do.
Sure, same here. But are you going to vote for Orange Man?
I am probably going to vote for Trump
Why?
because I believe that Biden just is ailing and he simply is a puppet in front.
Who's the puppeteer?
The puppeteer is these hooligans running around in the Congress and Senate, colluding behind his back together, passing whatever it is the Republicans and the Democrats want to pass. It's almost like
So you think the puppeteer of Joe Biden is the broader Democratic Party?
is the what?
The broader Democratic Party?
Yes, I do.
But that's just conjecture, right? Because, I mean, if you think about like the practical implications of this, you're saying that the ones controlling Biden's actions, right, are the rest of the party, right? And you wouldn't be able to give any evidence to support that other than saying they work together, which is the same thing that Trump did with the Republicans. Therefore, under your same view, you could say Republicans are puppeteering Donald Trump.
Okay, yes, under that premise, you could say that. But what we're seeing for the first time in history is that Republicans and Democrats are together on certain issues, right? That's never happened.
Wait, that's completely false, Kathleen. You know, there's bipartisan bills, right? They've been happening. Are you saying they happen to a greater degree?
Yes, I am saying that. I mean, I am
Can you
saying,
give me any evidence that it's a greater degree of bipartisanship?
well, why is it that we could get a bill to support Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan through in and I'm guessing again, maybe 6-7 days, a bipartisan bill. We have bills that have been sitting
Wait,
there.
have we not done similar types of bills in the past?
I believe not, but please tell me if you know of one.
Wait, why do you believe not? Have you even looked into it?
I have not.
So then why would you make an assertion like, oh, this has never happened before, that this is something like wild or outlandish if you've never even looked into see if it's happened ever before?
Only because I've lived on this earth and I've been a voting member.
And Kathleen, did you know something? It took months. It actually took months. It took months for them to agree upon something, right? There were different versions of the bill, different things tried that didn't work. You understand that, right? They've been trying to do this for a while.
And what is this that they tried to do?
Ukraine funding, for example.
Okay.
They tried to pass Ukraine funding with the border bill. This has been for months.
Yeah, but that war hasn't been being fought without our money. It's been going on for 2 years. We've been giving them money for 2 years. So
Yeah, what's the point?
Why is this bipartisan bill different? Why is it different?
I could say the same thing. I mean, that's actually the question you should answer.
Why can't you answer? You're the one.
I actually don't see how that one would be relevant to me. How is this bill any different? You're claiming that it's outlandish, that there's something new happening here.
I am claiming that there are two new things happening here. And this is just,
Yeah, you said that bipartisanship. Bipartisan has been happening throughout the context of all this time.
okay, give me the last bipartisan bill that passed.
I wouldn't know the last one, right? I could say this last one that we just did, the Ukraine funding, the Taiwan funding, and whatnot. That's actually a bipartisan bill.
Okay, well, what was the one before that?
There was Infrastructure Act. There's the insulin, the cap of insulin at $35. There's American Rescue, Build Back Better. There's plenty of things that were passed bipartisan.
Yeah, the cap of insulin, that's a good thing. I will give that to Biden for sure. That is an important thing. And I believe it only happened because that guy from, what show was it that started a company that's just, making the drug for $30 and people were paying a lot more.
Mark Cuban?
Yes, that's the guy's name. I believe he had a lot to do with getting that through in a bipartisan effort.
I don't think he had anything to do with that. Come on.
Well, I think he put competition out there saying, you know what, if the corporate entities are going to continue to control our drugs in the United States, guess what? I'm going to, throw my hat in the ring here.
Well, I have a question real quick, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Would you vote for Trump if he was held liable for sexual abuse by a jury?
Wow, that's so hard to answer in a intellectual way as a woman, because I believe if someone is found guilty, they are guilty. And I would never want to vote for a person that is found guilty of...
Like held liable in a civil court by a jury, right?
A civil court by a jury? No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you don't think OJ was guilty?
Oh, wow.
Because he was held liable in a civil court, not in a criminal. I mean,
Right.
Trump didn't even get tried in a criminal because of a statute of limitations, but he was held liable for sexual abuse by a civil court, which is a jury. Again, jury selection happens through the context of their lawyers in the opposing.
Right, but not in the terms of a criminal court where you go to jail for doing something like that. So
Yeah, but he had to pay $5 million for sexual abuse, $83 million for defamation, which brought him up to $88 million for this charge.
one charge.
Well, for these charges, these two.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I completely see your point that civil court, criminal court, is there a difference?
The difference would be in terms of standard of evidence. One bases it off of beyond a reasonable doubt. The other one's based on preponderance of the evidence. Preponderance of the evidence means more likely than not. Right. So what the civil court demonstrated is that Trump is more likely than not a sexual abuser.
So then, okay, it's a great point, and I concede that point. However, I do believe that people are coming after Trump for every little thing he's done, and I don't feel like the whole Biden and his son and the collusion with China has really been investigated.
I don't think
Can
you have
you
any
comment
evidence
on
of that. If you don't have any investigation, how would you have evidence of that?
How would I have evidence of that?
Yeah,
Well,
if there's no investigation.
absolutely only through traditional corporate owned television. And, we
So just an assumption off of claims.
suggesting a assumption off of claims. Yes, absolutely.
That's it. So there's no evidence there. You just believe it.
I don't believe it, but the issue has been raised and not investigated. So is it that we need to bring civil charges against Hunter Biden in order to
Sure, I'm fine with
the
investigating and
preponderance of evidence to be proposed?
yeah, sure. I don't have an issue with running civil courts against any of the Bidens. Now, do you want to vote for a person who's been held liable for sexual abuse?
The answer is no. I do not want to vote
Okay,
for
so then you should vote for Biden because Donald Trump has been held liable for sexual abuse.
But why would I want to vote for someone who is obviously ailing and cannot keep a clean ship? His children
I don't even know what that
are
means.
wild. Well, what I'm
They're
saying
50 years old. I don't see how that relates to him. Appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Finn. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
This election is seriously about voting for the lesser of two evils. And for me personally, what I'm seeing is that Biden is just not there. And I feel bad. I want this man to be like sitting on a dock somewhere, catching bluefish. He doesn't need to have.
Wait, and Trump is? Trump fell asleep multiple times in court. And in a deposition, he mistook a person who was proven to have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll with his ex-wife.
Okay. But he is not on television every day shaking and looking like he's going to fall over.
Neither is Biden.
You know what? Again, I'm
Respectfully, you can say that you think that Biden's not so much cognitively there as much as he used to be, right? As like everyone with the age that happens. But you can't say every single time he's, engaging, that's what's happening. It's just clearly not true.
It is clearly not true every time he's engaging, because every time
even most.
I'm at work or I'm doing something else. But the few times that I do get home at night and I get to see the evening news, I look at him and I just go, where's the doctor wife? Why isn't she saying, let's go, give him a break?
I don't know what you mean there. What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that I don't get to, sit around and watch Biden and watch Trump every day. I maybe get a little news on TikTok. I get a news.
Yeah. So how do you know that? So then why are you making this specific claim that you somehow have like a good evaluation of who is going to be most competent when clearly we've seen incompetencies with both?
Correct. You are definitely correct. I concede that point. But again, I go back to the point where what little I see as just a middle class American is that Joe Biden just seems like he needs a break. And I don't see him leading our country. I see like
Donald Trump needs to go to prison, right? So you could say you think Joe Biden needs a break. I think I would rather take someone who needs a break over someone who needs to go to prison.
Why?
He was held liable for sexual abuse, for fraud.
Okay,
right?
something in his past.
Honestly,
Let's
undermining
get
our
past
American
that
democracy.
point. Let's just get past that point, okay? Can you come up with another reason besides the fact that he's been held liable as a sexual abuser?
That would be the reason.
Okay, so there's
I was just
nothing
giving other
beyond-
things for fun, right? That's the real reason, right?
Okay, so there's nothing beyond the fact that
That
maybe-
and fraud, yeah. I mean, those are two pretty decent reasons.
Okay, so fraud and sexual abuse in his past.
Yeah,
In
man,
Florida,
right off
in
sexual abuse,
Florida-
not enough to send him to prison, apparently, under Kathleen's view.
Well, here's what I'm thinking is that like,
Well, how about this? I have a few more things.
That's his past.
I have a few more things. He also said that that he would have declassified the documents that he was showing to a particular friend, right, that didn't have authorization, right? He said that he would have declassified them if he could have, but he didn't, and he was on audio recording. So he's so smart that we have him on audio tape admitting to crimes.
And, oh, gee, did Joe have any documents in his home?
Yeah, but he didn't demonstrate willful retention. Trump demonstrated willful retention, and we literally have a fucking audio recording of him admitting to it.
Okay, so what's the difference? They both
Wait,
willfully-
Mike Pence also had classified documents, but he didn't get charged. Why? Because he did not demonstrate willful retention. If you actually read the special counsel report, you would know that it's based upon a willful retention.
Well, of course I haven't read a special report. I'm a middle-ass American woman.
Wait, Kathleen, here we go. A few things. I'll give you two good reasons right here to, based upon your particular standpoint, to not vote for Donald Trump. His tax cut and jobs policy decreased after-tax income for the middle class and for the lowest quintile, and increased it for the highest quintile,
Slow
the top 1%,
down.
and the highest
Slow
in the
down.
top 1%. What's up?
Blah, 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 blah. Slow down. Say it again.
His Tax Cut and Jobs Act increased after-tax income for the top 1%, top 0.1%, and the highest quintile, and it decreased after-tax income for the middle class and for the lowest quintile. So he took money from poor people to give it to his rich buddies.
But again, I don't understand what you're talking about. How can you increase taxes after tax?
I said the after-tax income decreased for people in the middle class. That means that the burden placed by the Tax Cut and Jobs Act increased for the middle class and decreased for the rich. Does that make sense? I'm saying
No.
income after tax.
Yes. So your income after you pay taxes did what?
Decreased for the middle class and for the lowest quintile, and increased for the highest quintile, the top 1%, and even greater for the top 0.1%.
So how do you do that? That sounds tricky.
Well, that's just through the context of his tax policy. This is from a distributional analysis from the Tax Policy Center and the Joint Committee on Taxation. Okay, this isn't just my opinions. This is what the distributional analysis indicates. Okay, not only did he rip you off there, but he also put multiple Supreme Court justices in office to restrict women's access to abortion in this country, which led to 13-year-olds in this country, due to their state's abortion laws, being forced to go through pregnancies or being forced to go to a different state to be able to get
brother.
access to that abortion.
Stand up for that. I stand up for that. I totally get that he put two conservative justices
Three.
in the Supreme Court. 3. Okay. Yeah. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake.
Mistake. He put them in there intentfully for them to overturn Roe versus Wade. He did this, and he thinks it's good.
Wade.
He did. He actually, that was one of the reasons that he put them in office. He actually campaigned for this. He said he would put pro-life judges on the Supreme Court.
So
He
you think
campaigned
Donald
on this.
Trump, in his billions of dollars, walks around every day and goes, "Hey, I want to appoint people to stop women having rights over their own body."
Yeah, he did that for a pretty long time. The only reason he's gone against that recently is because he's losing as it relates to the polling on abortion. And that could be a reason why he doesn't get women to vote for him, which he needs to win the election. So he literally changed his view on federal abortion bans because of the certain circumstances, but he's been advocating throughout the context of his entire presidency, and even before in his campaign trail, specifically that he wanted to restrict women's access to get abortion.
No, you frame it the wrong way.
I'm not framing it the wrong way. I'm telling you what the facts are.
He is, and all Republicans for that matter, to be honest with you, right to life. This is all we hear about. And it's the proper way to say we are against abortions. That's just right to life.
Sure. I care about right to life, but once it's sentient, right? I'm not going to care about it in the first trimester. I don't think a frozen embryo is a person. I think there's something a little bit more to personhood than that, right? And I wouldn't want to restrict women's access to abortion, right, which drastically reduces the quality of their lives for something that's clearly not sentient, right? And never will be
What was
sentient
that
if
word?
there's an abortion
Sentient?
occurred.
What does sentient mean?
It's a first-person subjective experience. That's what I care about. I care about that in humans.
So first person objective
experience, yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything you look at in the world, you look at it as if it's happening to you.
Not necessarily, but I would look at like policies that we're voting on and say like what would impact the average person? What would I want policy to look like if I were to come into this country, right, with a veil of ignorance, right? I don't know what part of society I'm going to be in, because ultimately speaking, I could vote on policy that's going to best benefit me, but I don't think that's conducive towards a better society for my future children, right? For their children, for the children after that, right? Because ultimately speaking, right, what is beneficial for me, right, clearly is not the best for the rest of society.
Right. But you use the word
In
sentient.
all circumstances, by the way.
Yeah.
Some obviously certain circumstances, what's best for me is what's best for everyone else, right? That happens probably a lot, right? But you know what I mean.
I would think that happens a lot. And it's so crazy that as a one person, you live in your universe, you have your 15 people you interact with every day. But there are, what's the number? 370 million people in the United States. I don't know what our
I
population
think it's
is
like
up to.
330, 340, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like
That's
all
a
I'm
lot
saying
of
is that like
fucking
we should care
people.
about each other, right?
We
That's
should.
it. Like, I mean, I think that we already show in policy we do to a particular extent, right? But we need to extend that to the baselines of goods for everyone. We shouldn't have people in this country that are involuntarily homeless. We shouldn't have people in this country that don't have access to childcare for their children,
And
right?
I love
We don't.
that
We shouldn't
about
have
you.
people in
I
this
love
country
it.
that have their health care tied to their job, and if they are unemployed, they can't get any health care. Everyone should have health care in this country. We shouldn't have people that don't have the ability to specialize their labor any further because college costs too much, and the burden of student debt would have them paying off things, right, for a very long time, and they're able to do nothing if they do that, right? So there's plenty of things that we need in this country that they've had in other countries for decades that we're behind upon, that Republicans consistently speaking are voting against. Appreciate the good morning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's not only Democrats and it's not Republicans. I love your message and what you just said. I do appreciate that. But how in the world are we sending all of this money across the world for
I'll
a
explain.
war that we're not fighting? Yeah, please.
I disagree with the money going to Israel wholeheartedly, right? I think it's disgusting, right, what the U.S. has done in its support for Israel. Right, to get that out there. I think there's a lot of stuff that we spend in other countries that doesn't make sense, that would be better used for people here at home as it relates to healthcare, education, all the things I just mentioned. Right? We need
Yes.
to put people in America, right, as it relates to these circumstances, right, in a circumstance where they have their baseline needs met, right? That is a necessary thing. We've got to do that first too in some circumstances. But I think it's also the case that when we look at this, right, we also need to acknowledge that there are certain circumstances where the U.S. has to uphold like treaties, other things that they've set up abroad, right, that can impact global relations long term, right, international relations. And certain things like that would be with Ukraine, right? I'm not advocating to send Ukraine money infinitely. What I'm saying is that we signed the Budapest Memorandum. We said that we're going to defend them if they gave up their nuclear weapons, if we want to retain these type of agreements long term in the future with other countries and with them. Push the Garland, thank you so much. Well, then we have to actually show up as it relates to those things, okay? So again, I'm not advocating to send all of our money, foreign aid, and across the world for no reason. What I'm advocating for is this circumstance, that along with the fact that it reduces Vladimir Putin's control over Europe. Appreciate the sunglasses. Thank you so much. Like, he's clearly trying to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did Ian just get banned? Yo, that's so sad. Yo, L TikTok with the banning Ian. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I again appreciate that you recognize that our government. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I am not for either one of the worst that we have to vote for. I seriously wish there were some candidates that would just step up and just say, Trump, you're not, and Biden, you're not. Just let's get some fresh millennials or okay, I'm
the cat,
going
thank you so
off
much.
here because
Yeah, like we need new politicians. I'm not disputing you there. I agree we need new politicians. But if we want democracy to be able to hold our politicians accountable and ensure that we have these types of politicians, we require democracy. And inevitably speaking, if we have people that undermine our American democracy, that get tens of millions of people to believe in lies about the election, that it was stolen with no sufficient evidence, to not accept a fair and democratic election, that reduces the accountability of our democratic processes.
so wait a minute, I'm sorry. Did you just say that like the election for Biden was definitely influenced by the Russians?
That's not what I just said there. No.
That's what I heard.
I don't know how you heard that.
All right,
Right.
so restate your comment.
Yeah, I said that Trump's trying to undermine our American democracy, and we need democracy to be able to hold our politicians accountable. Okay? So don't vote for this guy because he's going to reduce our ability to be able to have politicians that are younger, that more representative of our values, because democracy is how we get that.
Okay, so democracy is how we get there. So how do you believe that right now in America, democracy is happening?
We have elections. It's
Yeah.
called representative democracy.
Yes. And overwhelmingly, the bill that just passed, the bipartisan bill that I believe you said the next closest bill that had passed that was bipartisan had something to do with, what was it? What was it? Can you remind me?
I brought up plenty of other ones. I wouldn't know the one that happened right before that. There were ones that were tried, but I don't know the last one. Maybe like infrastructure was the one I was referencing. I think that's the one I brought up right after that.
Yeah, could have been. That would be a good one. I mean, hey, who doesn't hold their breath when they're driving over a bridge?
I don't.
And I'm with you. I agree with you. I'm just wondering where we're going with this. What are we doing as a society? Are you a millennial?
No, I'm Gen Z.
Gen Z, yes. My babies are Gen Z. I've got 3 of them. I've got 3 voting young men who are contributing to this country, the everything. And I love Gen Z. I love Gen Z. I think they've got spunk. I think they're gonna step up like Gen X didn't. We didn't. We just let the boomers take over the fucking government, in my opinion. Sorry about dropping the F-bomb. But yeah, Gen X, we didn't step up. We just went on our way and made our money.
So why don't we step up now and argue that you shouldn't vote for this guy?
I just cannot vote for a senile person, and I'm sorry.
That's Trump. That's literally Trump.
Sorry. And I don't think Trump is senile.
Well, then I just think that you're kind of a little bit biased there, right?
I don't.
If we're going to
Biden
consider
is-
that Biden is senile and not Trump,
I
because
just
by the
do
same
not
definition you use to identify that Biden is senile would be also
Uh,
applicable to Trump, right? Give me like a relevant quality that's different amongst Trump and Biden insofar as that you could identify Biden as senile, right? But not Trump.
Okay, so simply engagement. Engagement. And this could be biased as well. When you see Trump come across any feed that you watch on your phone or on TV, let me say Trump is engaged. He has eye contact. He is engaged with people. When
Biden has done that. Have you watched the State of the Union?
I did, and I felt bad for him.
Well,
And I'm
did you
sorry.
see Biden? Did you see Biden interacting with people for literally like hours after?
And not for hours after, for God's
Yes,
sakes.
it was
No,
for hours after.
no, and no, I
What?
didn't see that. But
Well, then you
hey,
should have.
Well, why? Why?
Well, because
Why
you're
would
making
I-
a claim that he doesn't do these things like engage with people, right? Shows that he actually can like, respond to things like that. Like obviously we can see certain scenarios of Biden not doing this and of Trump not doing this. The same way that there are certain circumstances where like I zone out or like I don't know what's going on or sometimes I just like my brain stops working for a second. I think that happens with everyone, right? And I
Not
actually
consistently.
wait, hold up, what?
I said not consistently. Not every time I turn on. And again, I
It
will
isn't
just.
every time
I'm a
that
fuck-
that Biden does it. Like what?
Oh my God, it
Biden
is
consistently
every
has
time.
quick responses for things. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying, every time I turn on the news and I'm making my dinner after I shower, it's just like he looks like I don't know, like some kind of puppet that he really can't even
I
move
just
his
think you're.
arm.
I think you're just kind of dehumanizing him slightly because you disagree with him.
And I'm sorry about that. And for anyone out there listening, I apologize for that because I do really. I like the man. I see he's lived through shit. He's lost his wife. He lost his kid. I get it. He's a career politician. He's given his whole career to nothing but Washington. So good for him. And thank you for your service. And let's move on. And I'm not saying that as you could look at that as the other side of me saying, look at Trump. He's built $1 million businesses and done TV shows but I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's move on from two geriatric people.
Appreciate the
Let's-
subscription. Thank you so much. It's one or the other, right? How can you say that Trump is the one you would prefer?
I'm going to rest it on again. I just think Joe's not there. And I'm tired of watching the Republicans and the Democrats know that they're free to roam around while the babysitter's not watching. That is my
Yeah,
that is
so
me
he
in
literally is
Ohio.
there, right? You're literally judging it off of something that you don't even know here, right? I'm actually not trolling. Like, he is there, right? In the same sense you would say that Trump is there, okay?
No, I
the
would
same
not agree
sense.
with that at all. No.
So then give me the relevant quality that's different. You said engagement, but again, I've shown you plenty of places where you can see where the engagement is completely fine.
And I'm sorry. Oh man, I want to debate you on this one, but it's a gut feeling, man. It's just what I am 56 years old. I am a Gen X. I am taking care of elderly parents. I see it. I know that look. And I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That
but a
I'm
gut
saying
feeling
that
is
about our-
not good enough reason to hold to something, right?
No, women do it every day, all the time, whether or not.
That doesn't
Donald
mean it's
Trump-
justified. Wait, men and women both do it. That doesn't mean it's justified.
No, it's not justified, but it's a reason why people would vote one way or another. Doesn't mean.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a
votes
good
are
reason. I'm
justified.
asking for like a good reason. Like, what would be a good reason?
A good reason to vote for Trump?
Yeah. And if you don't have one, then you shouldn't do it.
See, that is beautiful. That is a beautiful point because I had to stop and think, why is it that I would vote for Trump? What is it that I want about his policies and his people that he brings back into the government? And I can't name one, to be honest with you,
If you can't name any policies that you think are good of his, then why do you want to vote for him?
because I don't want to vote for what is happening now.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean?
I don't want to see our government run by Joe Biden. I don't want to see this. I feel there is a collusion between Democrats and Republicans because the checks and balances in our democratic system are not there right now because our leader is not there right
They
now.
are, and
Leader.
I don't know what you're
Hey,
talking about,
You didn't let me
Kathleen.
finish. You didn't let me finish.
Well, you just said this, Kathleen, like 6 times, and I've already given you my response to this. I don't know why you keep saying the same thing over and over again.
All right. So tell me what we've got.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me what I'm going to say for the 7th time.
Yeah, you're literally just going to say that, wait, so why do you, I'm not understanding, bro. Like, you're just going to say Joe Biden's not there, right? And then, like, because he's not there, you think that we have no checks and balances and we have no system that's going to be able to actually operate, right? Because there's no person at the head of things that's holding everyone accountable, when in reality that it's not only the president that does that. You have no evidence that Joe Biden is clearly not there in every single circumstance. You're just assuming this. You just said it's a gut feeling, right? Again, this is not reason based. This is just a gut feeling.
No, perfect. You summed it up so well, my son. Thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah, wait, so I'm confused how that was a good, like,
that was
view on your part.
absolutely good. That is how, absolutely what you just summarized is how, however many Gen X people are feeling, because that's our take on what's going on.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should hold to that, right? There are plenty of people that have bad positions, right? That doesn't mean you should hold to it.
But why is that a bad position?
I
mean,
just explained
what-
because you lack any reason to engage in this at all.
any reason, because you said I have a gut feeling that the president isn't all there. Is that why that entire premise?
Yeah, that's the entire premise that you're using to establish why you're going to vote for Trump over Biden. Yet it's solely based on a gut feeling. There's no actual evidence to justify a distinction between the two. Because again, I was asking for a relevant quality that's different amongst Trump and Biden, and you couldn't name it.
Right. And hey, yeah. Again, I'm a Gen X woman, and it is based on a gut feeling. And
what about women in this country who are losing the right to and access to get an abortion due to their state's abortion laws?
So you're
What
getting
about
out
the children?
whole point. Yeah.
What about the middle class and the lowest quintile who are losing money because of this guy? What about people who are going to lose access to healthcare? Right? What about people who might even lose benefits as it relates to Medicare and Social Security because Trump talked about cutting it possibly? What about all of these things?
Well, about all of these things is I'm going to go back to and defend my point that it's not a gut feeling. And if you don't see that our president is ailing, and that if we vote for another 4 years, it's just going to continue to happen, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong to vote for a Democrat. And I hate to say that because...
How? Wait. Literally, you didn't even mention how he was bad. You just restated the claim. He's not there, and we have reason to believe that. But what was the reason?
He is ailing. You can see.
What do you mean by ailing?
Ailing.
What does that mean?
I'm sorry. I just said honey, and I didn't mean that.
I don't mind. What do you mean?
I'm just saying, if you were in a position of a person who has taken care of people that are ailing, you can see.
I don't know what I mean by ailing.
Hey, listen. When I say ailing, I say, listen, I work 50 hours a week. I get a little bit of news here and there. And I'm just not seeing a man that is running our country. And
Aubrey, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. They said their gut feeling told me to send this to you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Aubrey.
Love it. Thank you. Gut feeling.
Yeah. So I don't understand what your point is there.
My point is this, is that you're being gaslit. You're a young kid with a lot of great ideas that I adore. I mean, you're like the sons I've raised that are off at college, and I love what you're doing. I absolutely love what you're doing, but you're being gaslit. If you can't see, this man is not there.
Okay. So you say he's not there, right? And all you're saying is that like I'm just being gaslit by saying that he's there, right? I'm literally observing it myself. I don't know what you mean by I'm being gaslit, right? I'm literally observing the fact that he's there in most circumstances, right? Again, I'm not going to say that there's not a circumstance where he doesn't seem out of it, where he's not there, right? I definitely believe there are certain circumstances like that. But again, when you say that it's like most of the time or it's like all of the time, I think that's ridiculous. And when you say that it's somehow very distinct from Trump, I question that. And I ask you, is it really that distinct? And if you can't provide a reason as to why it's distinct, right, I would question and say, well, okay, well then why are we saying here specifically that Trump is better off?
I'm not saying Trump is better off again.
That's what you're saying. Mentally speaking, he's better off. Someone's thank you for the $5. Thank you so much.
We are both in agreement that we are talking about the less of two evils.
Yeah.
That is it. And I am not saying all the time. I'm saying when I interact with Biden on any kind of social platform, and whether it be on TikTok or Fox News or CNN, to me personally, and again, it's just my gut that, I've seen this happen with my parents. I get what's happening. And I will go back to what is.
You say you've seen this happen with your parents. What specifically?
Just their inability to like be in the moment. And all right, so
Biden can be in the moment. What are you talking about?
wait, what? What's your question?
Biden can be in the moment. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, he can be in the moment. Yeah, I get that, but oh my gosh, I am gonna make so many claims right here, right now.
Thank you for the $5.
I'm gonna say it out loud. That man, he can't engage, and I believe, and I'm not even gonna throw it out there. I have so many thoughts
No,
about
just say it. Just say it.
how the party is propping this man up when he really should just have his glory days. He's done enough for our country. He's done great things. It's time to just
If you think Joe Biden has done great things, why don't you vote for him, given that the alternative side is the proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster, election denier for the past few years, literally someone who has willfully retained, literally classified documents, bragged about it, showed them to his buddies, right? This guy?
oh wait, what did you read that about Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
Everyone knows that was about Donald Trump, and I didn't read that about anyone. I said that off the top of my head. It's literally my spiel I typically go on.
Not everybody knows that. That's the whole thing. Is that
If you're
like,
in my
you
live,
just
if you've been
said
in my
that.
live before, you definitely know that. Come on.
I've never been in your live ever before. And I'm just saying, you
Okay.
read off all those things or thought all those things, and it could have been for either one of them. They're both
It could have been
corrupt.
who? What? No, it couldn't have. Wait, Biden's not a proven sexual abuser. He's not a proven fraudster. He has been denying the election for the past few years with no sufficient evidence to indicate that. None of these things were applicable to Biden. Not a single one.
All right, read them off again. Let me hear them.
Okay, Trump's a proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster. He's been lying about the election for the past few years with no sufficient evidence to indicate that he won. There's actually sufficient evidence indicating that he lost. He also willfully retained classified documents, joked about it and laughed about it with his friends, and claimed that he literally should have declassified them if he could have. Right? There's plenty of things I can point to. He restricted women's access to get abortions by literally putting multiple Supreme Court justices in office to overturn Roe versus Wade. Thank you so much. I appreciate the $5 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Right, he also advocated for tax policy that specifically led to less money in poor people's pockets in the middle class and more money in the hands of rich people. Right.
Right on. So go back to the second sentence. Read your second sentence.
So proven fraudster, election denial.
So prevent fraud in elections. Is that what you said?
Mel, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I said that Trump is a proven fraudster, and I said that he's been denying the election with no sufficient evidence.
Okay. So when did you make that statement? Like, was that the 2016?
When he claims that the election was stolen, he claims that 2020 was stolen.
Okay. So was it?
No, there's no sufficient evidence indicating that. It was the most secure election in recorded history, more secure than
but what about
2016.
the Russians? What about
Well, I don't believe that Trump.
Facebook and
Hold up. I don't believe that Trump colluded with Russia, but Russia did try to interfere with the election. That obviously was true.
And how so? Wasn't it?
Wait,
through
that was
Facebook?
proven true by the Mueller report, but there
Wait,
wasn't
what's
proven
the Mueller
collusion.
report? Slow down, buddy. Bring it on. What's the Mueller report?
You don't know what the Mueller. It's going to be the
I
report
don't.
related to the context of the claims of possible Russian collusion with like Trump and the Republican Party in 2016.
Right. So did that have anything to do with
There was proven there wasn't collusion, but there was Adrian. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. But there was proven evidence that literally Russia tried to intervene.
Okay. And is that what led to the January 6th insurrection?
So the January 6th insurrection, that what led to that is Trump denying the claims of the election, that him saying the election was stolen. right? That's what led to January 6th, him going and saying, "Oh, fight like hell, go to the Capitol, fight like hell. This country was stolen from you. Don't let it get stolen from you.
Right,
Peacefully, not actually be,
Wait, did I not connect something with what you were saying earlier? I'm sorry. Did I lose something?
I don't know. I don't know how you're tracking the conversation right now.
Yeah, me either.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, Rod?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the borders.
Yeah. What about the border?
Okay, so let's talk about the fact that the borders aren't the borders anymore. I mean,
They are.
yeah.
They're still borders. I don't know.
All right,
What is
so-
not a border?
I'm saying that the idea of most American people is that the borders are meaning, the Mexicans, which I love. I love that country. I've traveled a lot in that country. I love that country. It's like Mexicans coming over the border.
Most people coming across the border, I'm pretty sure, aren't from Mexico, by the way.
Right on.
Right.
Tell me who comes across the border.
Well, it's going to be
I
people
wanna
from all
hear
over the
this.
world, right? Asylum seeking is a process where people can come from all over around the world, right? It's not just from Mexico, right? There are increasing amounts of migrants coming from South and Central America, right?
Yes. How about the hundreds and thousands of men coming from China?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, they're not war. I didn't want to say that word. Damn it. I let that go too soon. They are
What?
they are young men of very physical strength coming from China into our country through not New York. No, they're coming in through our southern borders. Do you think that is at all a concern?
No. There's people from China coming to our country to immigrate here?
Right.
No, that's not a concern, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. That most of them are young men.
No? What's wrong with that?
Well, I would say that because we have, oh my God, I'm going to string you through a whole thought process in my crazy mind. This is my crazy mind.
Okay.
Is that we are bringing in through our borders young men ready to fight for our country that can get asylum from their country and they can fight for our country, whereas our gentlemen,
I don't know what you're talking about. So are you trying to say that like people from China could be coming into this country to like invade the country?
no.
Okay, so then what's the concern with people from China who are young men coming to this country?
My opinion is, and it's my opinion, and I would welcome a young man from China. I would welcome you to the border. You can have dinner in my house any one day. But I do see that because of the COVID mandate, for people who in our military had to be COVID, inoculized, that a lot of people walked away from the military. And now we're like, what the fuck? What are we doing? We need people. Let's let everybody in through the borders and let's figure this out. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. I can't wait to hear your response.
So you think that they're trying to get people to immigrate into the country to become a part of our military?
More that it's our voting system. They want voters.
Oh, okay. So you think that That was definitely not clear in your statement. Spoof, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so young men often come here because they're the most likely to survive. That is one thing to say, by the way. But wait, what was the original question you said? Sorry, I had it and then I literally kind of forgot.
The original question is, why are we letting so many people through our borders?
No, that wasn't the
Not-
question I'm referencing.
Yeah, I'm
It was
sorry.
a different one. It was a different one. There was a different question you asked.
Well, go back. I don't know. Why are
Vote. Okay, so can you give me any evidence that Democrats are trying to bring people into this country through the context of immigration to get them to vote for Democrats against Republicans?
No, I cannot give you any evidence. I am just asking your opinion on something.
Yeah,
Well,
what my opinion
and
on
I
what?
guess that is not like, debate rules. I get it.
So what my opinion on what?
Why are our borders so open?
Our borders aren't open. We have the same policy as we had under the context of Biden, or no, I'm not Biden, under Obama as it relates to immigration, but we're seeing significantly more people now. Why? Likely due to political instability. Right? That political instability could be due to inflation, right? Globally, COVID, right? Plenty of different things.
So it's not a concern?
Phil, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much. William, thank you for the $15. Thank you so much, William. W. William in the comment section. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I think
Well,
it's a
I don't think
concern.
that it's as much of a concern as like Republicans often are like trying to make it out to seem. Like immigration is good for our economy, right? Like I don't know why people think it's like this really bad thing. People
So
are making claims
why
about
do
like
you
people coming here to this
associate
country and like
immigration-
commit. Wait, hold up. People are talking about people coming to this country and like committing crimes. Well, I can send you a study from PNAS.org that indicates that undocumented migrants and documented migrants are less likely to commit crimes like property crime, drug crime, right, violent crime, right, across the board, right? They're significantly less likely to.
Immigrants.
Yes, undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to commit crime than natural-born U.S. citizens, right? And also, migrants are also less likely to commit crime than natural-born U.S. citizens. So this idea that they're coming here and committing so much crime is ridiculous because they proportionally commit crime lower than your fucking neighbor.
That's not the idea that I'm speaking of here. I would welcome anyone from any country that needs to have asylum. Hey, come on.
Well, Trump actually increased like the denial rates to like 90%. So he like overwhelmingly disagrees with that. Whereas like the typical denial rate's like 50-60%, which is what Biden brought it back to.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you like put these numbers out there. It's like, what are you fucking saying? I mean, the whole point
I'm
is,
sorry. It makes sense.
sorry that you make sense. Sorry that you,
Too many facts? You just like broke down or something? I'm confused.
oh, yeah, I am breaking down. I just think that.
No, not like emotion. I just meant like mentally, right? Like mentally you broke down after a few facts explained.
No, hey, shoot him again. I want to
Appreciate the
know
boxing glove.
why
Thank you so
you
much.
think open borders are.
I'm not advocating for. No one's advocating for open borders. What are you talking about? Actually, there are some libertarians who are right wing that advocate for open borders.
Yeah, where are our libertarians? Let's go there. Let's
They're not very
try-
common.
Well, I would love to know who is out there. Who do you like that is not Republican, not Democrat? Give me a name.
Who do I like that's not Republican and Democrat?
Yeah,
Um,
give me a name.
give
We're
you a
fine.
name of someone that. Well, I mean myself.
Yeah, but you can't run. Can you run? That's the
I
whole
can't
thing.
run right now, but. And why does that matter? And like, I mean, Bernie Sanders for most of his campaign was like independent. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. But what most people realize is that they have to work in the context of the two-party system in America to be able to change things, right? And then we can create a system in which there's like enough of an ability to like have multiple different parties. But right now, I mean, what we have right now is literally what's possible. It's the two-party system. It's one or the other. That's how it works.
Literally, it's we're so painted into a corner. It's so sad.
Okay, so we need democracy to get us out of this corner. Stop voting for
So
Orange Man.
why is-
Stop
okay.
voting for Orange Man because he limits democracy.
How so?
He literally is undermining our American democracy by not accepting the results of the election and getting tens of millions of people to believe this. Sarah, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. Sarah said to lay off the wine.
All right, so I will say this. I will say vote for Trump because he doesn't fucking pass. Sorry, I used the F word. He doesn't pass a bill for an app of all things. Who cares? With
Trump wanted to
92
ban TikTok when he was in office. Did you know
92
that?
You didn't let me finish. $92 billion being sent from our country to another country.
Did you know Trump campaigned on giving more money than Obama to Ukraine to defend themselves?
No, I didn't know that. So
that's
please,
true.
give me your facts.
Yeah, I can pull it up, but that's just one of the things he campaigned on.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
What, you're saying Trump totally held on to the coattails of Obama? I mean, come on. We all know that.
No, he argued to give
great.
more money to Ukraine.
Obama was the greatest of great. And then, yeah, Trump came in, everything was good.
Lydia said you sound like 5 other Midwest moms that she knows. Are you from the Midwest?
God, I am 5 other Midwest moms. I'm the lady on the sidelines with lacrosse.
Honestly, I could so see that, bro. I grew up in Iowa. I know exactly what Lydia is talking about, to be totally honest.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, kids. And listen, at Gen X, we try to keep to ourselves, but I've been watching your show. This is my second night, and I'm just like, wow, I gotta chime in.
Yeah, Jamie, I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much on Venmo. I mean, obviously, I think it's important to actually engage in these conversations, regardless of the matter, right? Because
Yes.
it's important to like hear outside of the context of, like
think
your
it's
own
just-
views, right? And what like is typical to be said from like your party.
Yeah, I learn a lot from this.
Yeah, you learn that you shouldn't vote for a sexual abuser, right? So I actually have a question. If you're going to vote for Donald Trump, are you willing to make the statement that I, Kathleen, am going to vote for a proven sexual abuser, Donald J. Trump?
I, Kathleen, will not vote for a senile president.
No. Can you say specifically, I, Kathleen, will vote for a proven sexual abuser, Donald Trump?
I, Kathleen, will not vote for a
Appreciate the box
president
love. Thank you
who
so much.
lets
Okay, I, Kathleen, will vote for
do their
right.
own
I,
thing.
Kathleen, will vote for right proven sexual abuser, Donald J. Trump.
I will vote for Donald J. Trump.
A proven sexual abuser.
No, sir.
That's true.
Well, what's true about
Are you
Joe
going to start
Biden
denying the
we
fact that he's
don't
done
know?
that?
No,
Are you
I'm
going to
not
start
gonna
denying the
say-
fact that he's done that? Okay, so then why do you want to vote for him because of that?
I'm going to vote for someone who can take control of our government because it's out of control.
Yeah, and
Period.
you think Donald Trump's going to take control of our government in a good way?
Yes,
Why?
he can take control. He can be in
Do
control.
do you think it's good to say that people who have been held liable for sexual abuse should be the ones taking control?
I believe you are leading me to make statements.
Jennifer, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Heath, thank you for the $5 as
That-
well.
it could be taken
Jennifer
off
said
context.
as a Gen Xer that she doesn't claim you, apparently.
Well, I don't know who she is, but you're trying to lead me into making comments that are out of context.
What? Out of context? What do you mean? I'm confused. What do you mean, Kathleen?
Son, I am simply saying there is no good between the choices we have. That is my platform. All right. So, Democrat, Republican.
I mean, I think you can see some good, but like, I don't think that they're good people. Like, I think that both Trump and Biden are bad
No,
people.
you're
Yo,
putting
Finn, I appreciate the
words in
glowing
my
jellyfish.
mouth
Thank
and
you
my
so much.
voting
But I
state.
do think that Donald Trump is worse than Joe Biden. What you're not acknowledging is that the worse still matters to acknowledge. Okay, right? If you think that one is worse than the other one, why would you vote for the one that you think is worse?
Well, no, I'm not saying that at all. I am saying
So you think that Donald Trump is better than Joe Biden?
you tend to try to put people in a box.
I'm just trying to see what your view is.
Yeah, my view is Donald Trump at least has a handle on shit, and he'll, make sure people check their boxes. I don't think Joe Biden is doing that. I don't think Joe Biden can make people accountable.
Okay.
Period.
Well, I would love to continue this, but I'm gonna give Lydia. Lydia wanted to like do something real quick.
Yeah,
for like
I
a
just
few
wanna,
minutes. I was gonna let her
like-
do it real quick.
Oh.
I'm the one who said you remind me of a lot of other moms I know. I'm from Wisconsin. It wasn't a bad thing, by the way. Just like a familiar presence to me. But I'm wondering, did you say you have kids? Like boys or something? Kathleen?
Oh, yeah.
Helping humans, thank you for the
Am I
$5,
still
thank
there?
you.
Yes, I have 3 sons. I didn't know
Yeah.
I was still here.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
25, 22, 21. Yes.
And like, you don't have to comment on their personal orientations, but like, did they ever have any friends that were in like the LGBTQ plus community?
Absolutely.
And like, I mean, I guess, did they have any friends who were maybe transgender?
Yes. Absolutely.
Do you like know Trump's position on the transgender community and like what his plans are?
I apologize. I do not.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, he's like pretty harshly against any kind of like affirming medical care for trans people. I'm pretty sure he also like wants to ban it for adults as well. So not just children, but also adults. Either is bad to ban, but I'm just wondering like do you think like if you ever saw those like friends of your sons again, that like you could really like truly tell them that you like care about them and vote for someone who wants to take away their health care?
Yeah. So my position is that, yes, I see these people and I adore them and I welcome them into my life, but no, I would not speak to them about my voting rights at all.
Sure. Well, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just saying, like, do you think that it's like super consistent of you to like, because I believe you that you really do care about those people, right? And I believe you. But it just wouldn't really align with that belief for you to vote for Donald Trump. Like, he really has very harsh stances against the transgender community.
Well, I would take offense that you said those people. I don't consider that as those people, but
The people that your sons know.
yeah, I don't consider them as those people. They're just the kids that come to my house.
Right, yeah, girl, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, I'm just saying the people that your son knows, okay? Right?
Right.
So, do
So-
you think, like, look, I just feel like I did expect you to say that you do care about transgender people, and, like, their rights. And so I'm just wondering how you can say that you really do care for your son's transgender friends, right? Or transgender people in general, and vote for Donald Trump, who wants to take away their basic rights.
Shelbin, thank you so much. I appreciate the subscription.
I thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, absolutely. And I would say to this that I don't generally think that, me personally, that I would vote for Donald Trump because he's against transgender people. that is not the reason I would vote for Donald Trump.
Right, but do you think you can say that you really like care about transgender people if you vote against their rights? You vote for someone who wants to take away their health care?
Well, I would say this is that I don't believe that I could honestly vote for Joe Biden and he wouldn't turn around and change things. Because I feel, as an American, as a Gen Xer, that we can't trust government. So, yeah, maybe y'all.
But like Donald Trump would also be the government if you elected him again. So.
I know.
We shouldn't trust the government. We should trust rich people. Like
Donald Trump.
our feudal lords.
Yeah.
Like, Kathleen, I feel like we're getting away from the point a little bit. I mean, look, if you don't care enough about the community to like vote for people who will uphold their basic human rights, then I don't really know if I don't want to be disrespectful, but like it doesn't really seem to me like your actions are matching your words when you say that you care about the community.
And I totally understand your point. What I say is that how can I back someone or a democracy, a Joe Biden administration?
Oriana, thank you for the
when
$10.
I
Thank you so
don't
much.
think they will uphold what they say they're going to uphold. That's my whole point. Is that like I would vote for Biden all day long if I thought that man could get through to the Supreme Court, the Congress, the Senate, everybody, like he did.
Get through to the
I
Supreme
hate
Court.
to say it, the TikTok ban, but you know it's not going to happen for transgender people. It's not going to happen.
So
What?
you're just denying that. So Trump doesn't get done what he says he's going to do?
Yes.
Oh, so he's like, he just makes false promises and you want to vote for him?
As does Biden, and should I vote for him?
So do you think
Wait, name
that
one
Donald-
false promise Biden made.
Wait, what?
Name one false promise Biden made.
Oh, goodness. I guess maybe the economy, maybe healthcare for everyone, maybe, let's see.
I don't think he
let's
necessarily
go
made a
with-
claim of healthcare for everybody, but he did argue
yeah,
for
that was
like
Obama's
advocating for
thing.
expansions to the ACA, which he's advocated for. So that was not like a false
All right,
promise.
So let's go with Obama's thing with, okay, everybody gets healthcare. But let's go with the fact
He
that,
promised the economy.
yeah.
Yeah, I just want to like just before I hop down, like I just want to like read you like some of the views that he has. Like he wants to restore the ban
Lexi,
on
thank you for the
trans
subscription.
people in the military that he had in place. And he also wants to sign in a law to stop gender affirming care for kids. And he like literally calls it like mutilation.
And I'm pretty sure it's for adults too.
Yeah, I think that is like an updated thing. It's not like
All right. So make
Because
yourself
it's not
clear.
gender reassignment surgery that
Well-
he's advocating. He's going against hormone blockers and puberty blockers as well.
Yeah, even
Well,
and even
I
like
don't
I mean,
know.
there.
hormone
Make
blockers and
yourself clear.
hormone replacement therapy. My bad.
Make yourself clear. Who is talking and what are they talking about?
Donald Trump wants to ban transgender health care for children.
Oh my God, Catherine! Thank you for the $100 on Cash App. Holy fuck, dude. W. Catherine, holy shit. Oh my God, W. Catherine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's fucking crazy. Spam W. Catherine in the comment section. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You can continue, Lydia, by the way. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, like I just like Kathleen, I feel like you still haven't answered my question. Like, do you think that you can really say that you care about the transgender community while voting for a man who wants to take away like multiple of their like human rights?
Well, I would ask this. Do you think you can vote for a man who honestly supports everything that you want for your community?
What?
I'm sorry if you didn't hear that. I said,
Damn, girl.
do you think you can support a man
Okay.
who
No, probably not, but-
supports your community?
What's my community?
Your community seems to be LGBTQ, which is wonderful,
I mean,
great.
I mean, sure, I'm not trans, but I'm pansexual, so I guess so.
Well, you know what?
But like, that's not.
Here's
I'm
the
not
whole
saying
thing.
it because I'm a part of the community. I'm saying it because I like care about like minority groups.
Yeah, like I don't think her being a part of the community even relates to that, right? I think she was just making a claim in general,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not part of the trans
Because
community.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I,
she's
like,
making a
really
claim about
care
trans
about-
people.
About like what they're going through, and he would make it like just that much worse.
Right. So my vote for Trump makes what worse?
Transgender people's daily lives.
Along with the middle class, along with the lowest quintile, along with particularly people who are Muslim. He called for literally religious persecution, banning all Muslims from coming to the country until he quote unquote knows what the fuck's going on.
Stop it now.
Heather, thank you for the $11 on Cash App. Thank you so
Bring
much,
on
Heather.
your proof. Bring on your proof for
Oh,
those
you want to hear the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Bring
want to
it
hear
on.
it? Okay. Complete and total shutdown of all Muslims. Okay, let's pull up the video specifically. Oh wait, it's right here.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until
Oh, Sophia, I
our
appreciate the
country's
Venmo. Thank you so much.
Can figure out. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. The United States. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
You need more?
Well, no. Hey, I love it. To be honest with you,
What?
I mean, no. To be honest with you guys, it's AI. I mean, it's our time. It's the time.
This Kathleen, this video came from before we had AI. Okay.
Parker, we're literally cooked if like the
And we're
older
actually cooked,
generations
bro.
think
These
that-
people vote. These people vote, chat. These people vote.
Actually,
Kathleen, you do not believe it's AI. That wasn't even a thing
Here,
yet.
listen to what I'm saying. Is that like you're totally cooked? If
We are
you,
cooked.
as the millennial and the Gen Z,
Neither of us are millennial.
population,
Please don't call
can't
me a
prove
millennial.
to us that this was fucking said.
I just showed you, and you literally said it was AI. This came out before AI. This was literally a video from like 2015 or 2016.
Okay, silence. Point taken. I'm gonna think.
Yeah, you should think about that, right? Let alone that, you could also think about the fact that he's restricting women's access to abortion by putting multiple Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit purpose of overturning
Blah,
Roe
blah,
versus
blah,
Wade.
Blah blah blah. You know what?
That's not blah blah blah.
Yes, it is. Blah blah blah. You know what women think? Is that like
What do we think, Kathleen?
Like,
Like, I'm right here. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep saying us Gen Xers, us women. Like, dude, we're not. Neither are monoliths.
I love it. I love it that you're here. But I mean, we're tired of everybody trying to like say you're in charge of our bodies and blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
So, like, why would you vote for Donald John Trump, who does not want us to have access to like the rights to our bodies?
Well, why would you vote for Joe Biden?
Don't pivot.
Just tell me.
Don't pivot, Kathleen. Don't flip
No.
the question on me. Why do you want
I
to
am
vote for
not
someone?
pivoting.
Why do you want to vote for someone who is trying to restrict the rights to our bodies?
Well, again, I listen. I will say
You
this.
just literally like unalived Parker. Like he's gone now.
I'm sorry. What?
You have Parker on the floor with what you just said. Like you literally just said that you think it's wrong for the government to restrict women's access to abortion. And Donald Trump is the one who wants to do that, not Joe Biden. So you care about transgender people, you care about abortion rights. Do you care about like the middle class and poor people?
I would say this. Why do we have to be put into these categories?
I'm not putting you in any category.
Why do we have to be put in these categories that we care about poor people? Oh my God! I don't want to be in that category.
Kiddos, I feel like I'm in my kitchen with my, young sons.
Maybe you should listen to them.
Well, I do listen to them. And
Maybe you should listen to their friends, like their transgender friends too, when they're saying that like their basic human rights are being threatened and like actively taken away right now. And Trump wants to amp it up like 4 notches.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, let's ratchet
Actually
up
fucked up.
on the money that you owe on fucking.
Kathleen, did you hear what you just said? That's fantastic too. I just talked about transgender people losing their basic human rights, and you said that's fantastic.
No.
You might
I
want to
didn't hear
wait
that.
until you register what I just said before you like answer something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. I get you. Let's go back. So Trump is doing what?
Trump wants to 1, restrict abortion access, 2, restrict transgender people's rights. He also loves to give money to rich people and does not care to give money to the middle class or poor people.
It actually takes it from them.
He loves to fund his billionaire friends and his billionaire self. And he does not care about you or me or anyone who's not one of his friends or someone who he can make money with.
Yeah, he sits up at the top of his penthouse in his gold fucking toilet, right? Using his gold silverware, right? Claiming that he relates to the average American, that he's going to help you. Appreciate the happy mustache. Thank you so much. All the policy he's engaged in. Can you name one policy that's benefited the the vast majority of the American public?
Oh, that is such a great point. Oh, I would love that. I would love to know the answer to that. Anybody?
Yeah, for real, dude. Anybody? For real, dude.
Do you think if you can't think of a single policy that he influenced to get passed that benefited the majority of the people in our country, that like you probably don't have very good reason to vote for him?
Well, geez. No, I am going to say this very honestly. I cannot think of anything that Joe Biden or Donald Trump has done that would ever make me vote for them. But I have to vote with Donald Trump. And sorry, whoever hosts this, I go with my gut feeling is that Joe Biden just is not there.
Okay,
And
but
he cannot recess the people that are.
Kathleen, what if I said that I have a gut feeling that you're not like all there mentally, and so you shouldn't have your job anymore? Is that fair?
You shouldn't be able to drive, Kathleen. We should revoke your license. I have a gut feeling you're not there.
Bring it on. I don't want to drive. I hate driving.
Okay, but
All right, let's take your license, chat.
like,
Bring
do
it
you
on.
think that if I just say, I, Lydia, have a gut feeling that Kathleen is not mentally there enough to have her current job, do you think it would be fair for your job to fire you because I said that and I had a gut feeling?
Absolutely not. But if I was
Why do
the
you get to
leader,
speculate about another person and their job?
Well, if I was the leader of the free world, I think there would be a bit more speculation on my ability to do things.
Okay, but does that you're allowed to be concerned, but do you get to make assumptions about the cognitive abilities of someone else and then say they shouldn't have their job because of it?
Well, I would say no, but I guess my
Why are you doing
vote would be my ability to say, no, I don't dig this.
What? That makes no sense. I'm asking you if you think that it's okay for you to base your vote solely off of a gut feeling about someone's mental capabilities.
Yes. I say yes.
So then that means that if I have a gut feeling that you are not mentally well enough to do your job, I should be able to get you fired. And that's a good reason for you to be fired.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't care. Yeah, let's fire
I
Joe
don't think you
Biden.
believe that.
Let's do it. Let's
Kathleen?
fire him.
Kathleen, no, that's not, no, I'm saying that you're under your reasoning, it would be justified for me to get you fired because I have a gut feeling that Kathleen cannot cognitively function well enough to do her job. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying is okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Kathleen, you don't believe that.
Totally believe
Like, you
that.
don't
I
believe
don't
mean,
believe
I
you. No
totally
way,
believe
dude.
it.
That is.
If
dude,
I'm
that is
fucked up.
Lydia just got you to concede the craziest reductio I've ever heard. Actually, this is
So-
not the craziest reductio, but that is a wild
So,
reductio to
tomorrow, if I call your work tonight and I say, hey, Kathleen, she's not cognitively fit to do the job, and tomorrow morning you wake up fired, you wouldn't put up any fight, you wouldn't think there's anything wrong with that, completely justified.
No, I would absolutely go, hey, what happened? What did I do?
Well, we had a gut feeling, okay?
Yeah, we had a gut feeling. So, and then you'll just be like, all right, I mean, gut feeling, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if I can't do my job, I'm out of here.
You know what? Jeff Bezos. You know, I don't like the guy, right? Demote his ass.
Dude, I can't.
Yeah, same
Kathleen,
thing. Same thing with Bill Gates. Fuck him. Fuck him. Get him out of there. You know, same thing with Donald Trump. Get him out of there. Fire his ass.
I had some hope for you, Kathleen. I really did. I guess I didn't accomplish what I thought I would when I came up here, but yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing to believe, don't you think?
Oh gosh, I keep forgetting. Yes, I'm here. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Okay, maybe I
Is
actually do need to call your. Okay.
Wait, can I
And
talk?
Joe Biden's not cognitively there. Kathleen, oh my god. Dude.
How do I do this?
How do you do what?
Am I on?
Yep,
All right, sorry.
that's okay.
All right, kiddos. Hey, what's the question?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm just like wondering if you really think that like legally we should make it so that if you go to court with a gut feeling, that means that like the other person can get fired from their job.
No, you've got to finish the sentence. I didn't hear it.
I did. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, come on.
So sorry. Give me 1 second. Do you think that it should be like if you go to court, right, and you have a feeling, you have a gut feeling that like this person is unfit for their job, or maybe they're even unfit to be a parent or something. Do you think if you go to court and you say, Your
Yeah,
Honor,
Kathleen, let's take your kids away from you. You're unfit to be a
Your Honor,
parent.
it's
I have
my
that gut feeling.
Kids. Don't take
Your
my
Honor,
kids.
my client is pleading gut feeling. Do you think that should
Yeah.
be that should be like the law?
Wait, I'm sorry. I just joined in again. What's the law?
Hey babe, no you didn't.
Oh,
What do you mean you just joined in? What do
I
you
don't
mean by that? What do you mean by that?
all right. Why will Trump
Wait, what's going?
Wait, I'm sorry. What do you what do you mean you just joined in?
I don't know.
Kathleen,
Who knows?
are you okay?
Man, I'm just
Kathleen, ma'am, how much have you had to drink tonight?
enough.
Hold on. Let me get my bra.
I don't know where he's going.
Ma'am, how much did you have to drink tonight, ma'am? How much?
Enough.
Is it too much to drink tonight? How much? How much was there? How many drinks, ma'am?
Shit. Well, I don't know.
How many drinks, ma'am? How many?
Ma'am, I have a
Wait,
gut
are you
feeling you've had too much
going
to drink tonight.
I'm having a good feeling you have too much to drink tonight. I might have to take you back to the station.
All right, so I'm sorry.
Tashika said, Your Honor, the defendant had bad vibes.
Yeah, dude.
Your Honor, my the client seems a little geriatric, so I think that he's not allowed to work anymore. It's just a gut feeling, though. I don't have any proof.
Yeah, so I have a gut feeling that Donald Trump is a rapist, right?
I also have that gut feeling.
Right? Is that justifiable enough reason to believe that's true?
Yo, she's gone again.
Earth to Kathleen.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Am I here? I know. It's the funny thing. I love it. I love that little snicker of that woman. I mean, am I here?
Holy fuck.
Okay, I think there's actually something wrong at this point. Kathleen, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Is there someone there like that could help you out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make sure that they know. You should make sure that
Yeah, it's like, do you have
you're
a
gonna be
partner
okay.
home or your sons or anything?
Right. No. I mean, kids, talk your stuff. I want to hear it.
Kathleen, I'm sorry, but are you okay?
Wait, like, do you have like are your sons home? I feel like I'm in a dream right now.
I do too. Yo, I don't even feel real right now.
This is like what I
Yeah,
feel like
thank you for the
after I
hand
wake up
hearts.
from
Thank
a
you.
nap.
Like it was like interesting before. Now it's like, bro, it's
Now
like,
it's like a little bit worrying.
yeah. Now it's a little, yeah. It's definitely worrying. George, I appreciate the
Kathleen,
Gorgie, thank
if you
so much. I
can, if
appreciate
you
it.
can like still hear us, you're out of the app. But if you have like, I don't know if you have a partner or if any of your sons are home.
She left.
Oh fuck. I mean, she seemed like she was completely like there
fine
for
for most of the conversation, right?
And then it was just at the end where I was like, I thought at first that she just kept scrolling out of the app or something, and that's why she was like asking if she was still there. But and then she said she just joined.
Maybe
and
she was trying to leave. That makes sense.
Anyway, yeah. Well,
All right. Well, Lydia, I appreciate you coming
thanks
out.
for
That was
having me
that was
up. I
definitely
guess.
definitely
and thanks for all the
interesting.
gifts, everyone. I appreciate you.
Of course. I appreciate you coming up. Have a good day. Have a good day. All right, y'all. I'm going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Do tap that screen. Let's run it up to 500,000 likes, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's get to the next person, everyone. Please only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. Let's get this next person up here quick. Follow me if you haven't already, everyone, as we're dealing with a following glitch here on TikTok, and it's not sending out my streams as much as it typically would. Right, but yeah, if you do want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. Plus, you can find it in my link tree if you cannot find it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's go to the next person. We put one person to sleep. On to the next. Craig, I didn't mute anyone calling me out. How could I mute someone? My hands are up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay. Let's go to the next person. Everyone, please only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We have literally none of these people connecting right now. I am trying to get some people up here, though. Is Harry going live tonight, everyone? Yo, Vic, thank you so much for the hand art. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
I am, and I'm 50.
And why is that?
I'll tell you why. And it's not because of what a lot of other people are talking about. It's because of my own personal experience. In 2015 and before that, I was a struggling single mother. With the policies that Trump put into play for the taxes and the businesses, I work for a big corporation. And what happened was with them getting those tax breaks, they actually took that money and they put it into their employees. And with them doing that, it allowed me to not only climb the ladder in a business perspective, but also financially. And in 2019, I bought my own house, which I never thought I was ever going to be able to do. So from my personal experience, how his policies affected my life, and granted, some of that work came from me, that's why I'm voting for the man.
Yeah, so overwhelmingly, we know that these types of policies that relates to making sure that companies have more money, therefore, essentially it's supposed to like have this trickle down effect where it goes down to the worker. We don't typically see that because the company only has an incentive to give it to the worker if they are actually going to receive that money back in profits long run. Right? If they don't get that back, well, then they're not incentivized to engage in that behavior other than like, say, caring for an individual. And although we could say that certain scenarios, it could lead to situations where people do care about others and a company does do that, that wouldn't be widely adopted. Appreciate the hard mustache. Thank you so much. And that's what we see. Right? We've seen real GDP increase over the past few years, whereas we haven't seen real median income increase. That means GDP growth accounting for inflation has gone up drastically, whereas we have not seen the same increases in people's incomes on like for the average person.
No, I understand that. And I do have the, basic knowledge of finance. I do work in finance actually, but that is why I'm voting for him, because it did make a difference in my life. And I just want to touch base on a few things that was mentioned in the prior conversation. Me personally, I am a conservative. I was independent all my life up until last year. I voted for Obama twice. I did not vote for Trump in 2016, but I did vote for Trump in 2020, and I am going to vote for him in 2024. As far as a lot of the cases that are going on right now, even though it goes through the first step and he might be found guilty on something, let's all keep in mind that there is a process in the justice system and there is something called appeals. And, until it is finished, it's not finished.
So you don't care about the fact that he's been...
A lot of people get stuck on the first ruling. So if we flip things back over, and when I say the other side, I'm not saying it in a negative way, but I'm saying the other side of the aisle, a lot of people push how when you go through the justice system, it's a two-tier system, the lower class or, like black males go through the system. When they talk about that kind of stuff, they're saying things opposite of what is going on in another situation. So from a moderate perspective, I think we need to keep that kind of stuff in mind. And right now, what we're dealing with on both sides, I see it from the conservative side as well, is a lot of propaganda. A lot of agendas, a lot of narratives being pushed, and people are reading what they're seeing in MSM, mainstream media, and they're taking that and they're running with it. I'm personally on another platform. I have almost 100,000 followers. I engage with my people on a regular basis, and majority of them are conservative. And it's just... people are frustrated, I think, more with what is going on in government in general. And
what platform are you on?
Yeah, but when you hold it, just let me finish up real quick. But when you look at politics in general, it's always one side versus the other, and it's always the extremes that you're hearing about.
What platform are you on?
I'm on Truth.
True Social?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I mean, I would ask you a question. As it relates to the context of the election, do you think 2020 election was stolen?
I would say, I'm not going to necessarily say that it was stolen. I would say that there were a lot of, I don't know if you want to call them anomalies. There were a lot of things that were concerning. I mean, even if you
Katie,
look
thank
at
you for
the
the mirror bloom.
case,
Thank you so much.
if you look at the case in Pennsylvania,
Yeah, but you don't think there's sufficient evidence to overturn the election?
you know, there's a lot, again, there's a lot of narratives and propaganda being pushed, and people have to
Just there's a
decipher.
basic question: is there enough evidence to overturn the election? Thank you for the cap. I appreciate it, Emperor.
I don't know because I've never personally seen all the evidence.
Okay,
Personally.
so there have been multiple court cases on this, like over 60 court cases. None of them showed sufficient evidence to indicate that, Trump won the election, right? Or that there was like sufficient evidence to overturn it. 17 of those cases, right, had appointed judges specifically by Trump. Appreciate the cap. Thank you so much. So either Trump appointed corrupt judges and they stole the election from him, or he lost the election. Right?
Yeah, but
If you
you
believe he
also
lost the election, he's been lying about the election for the past few years with no sufficient evidence to indicate that he won, and he's undermining our American political process.
So here's another point on that though. When you look at that, a lot of those cases weren't even heard because they said there was no standing. And one thing that we need to keep in mind as well is we have people in positions that don't want to take on some of this stuff. And I get it. I understand, because would you want to ruin your career over something like that, regardless of which way it goes? So that's something else that we need to keep in mind, that they will push certain things off like that so they don't have to do anything with it. And I'm not saying that he did or he didn't. I will honestly say I don't know because I don't have the evidence. I haven't seen all of the
Well,
evidence.
either way you take it, either he appoints corrupt judges that stole the election from him, so he's not good at appointing judges, or he lost the election and he's been lying about it.
Let's face it. Most people in our government are corrupt.
Well, so
I'm not saying all. I'm not saying any particular side. I'm talking about our government in general.
okay, give me two people in government you think are corrupt, and give me the evidence that indicates that.
What's his name? McCall, Representative McCall.
And what did
He
they do?
put out. He's the one who actually wrote the TikTok ban on March 1st. I believe it was when it hit the floor.
I'm asking for evidence that indicates they're corrupt. Are you talking about Mitch McConnell?
Mitch McConnell is a dirty dog. He's a warmonger.
And can you,
No, I said
which one are you
McCall.
referencing? McCall?
McCall.
And you think,
I can't remember what state he's from, but he's the one that wrote the TikTok bill.
what's the evidence that he's corrupt?
He's the one that wrote the TikTok bill. And the first, I think, 2 weeks, within two weeks after he wrote the bill, he actually purchased $350,000 or $450,000 in Meta stock. The bill, they knew that the bill was going to be attached to the Ukraine funding bill. And he went and bought an additional, after he knew that it was going to be attached, it was announced, he bought an additional $750,000 in Meta stock. You tell me that's not insider trading? If that was any one of us, we'd be getting charged.
I disagree with insider trading, but he invested in it after writing the bill, right? It was
No,
after it announced.
He wrote the bill. He invested $450,000 in it.
Wait,
And then when
what
he
was the
found
date?
out it
No,
was-
didn't he do it after it was announced?
No.
Okay, so what's the person's name again? And I'll look it up. Appreciate the coral. Thank you so much, Fen.
I believe it's McCall. I don't know what state he's from.
Okay, thank you so much for the "You're amazing." I appreciate it, Yin. Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's pull this up. Mitchell McCall, right? Let's see what he got from Meta. 23rd of April. That's when he bought it.
No, he bought it. He bought it prior to that.
That's what this says. That's when it was published. The
That's
only
when it
thing
was published. That's not the date.
traded March.
And March 1st is when he produced that bill that he wrote for TikTok, the TikTok ban.
Yeah, but wasn't this well after it was announced?
I don't believe so. No,
Okay. Well,
it wasn't
I
announced.
thought by this point it was already being talked about and already being going through, but sure. I don't know. I thought it was already announced, but I would say that I don't know if this would indicate corruption, but I would also say that I'm against like Congress members being able to buy stock.
Yeah, particularly when they're voting on bills that are going to affect the market.
Yeah, obviously, I think that they shouldn't be able to do that, but I also think it's important to say that.
I can tell you honestly, I am an investor in TMTG. I was an investor in DWAC before DWAC and TMTG merged. And I actually went to the Capitol and talked to some of the top committee members regarding.
Wait, you said that you don't. I have a question. You said that you don't think that Biden won or lost the 2020 election, right?
I didn't say that either way.
Okay, so like, is this your account on Truth Social?
Is that something that I shared?
Yeah, this is also something that you shared, or that you reposted. My bad.
Yeah, is that mine?
Yeah, you reposted these two things.
Yeah, that first one's mine. I think the second one was a retruth.
Yeah, you reposted it. Mm-hmm. So you believe that, it seems, and you also said you reposted.
A like or a retruth does
You
not
also-
necessarily mean that you agree with it. And I think with you being in social media, you'll understand that as well. There are
Yeah, if I
groups-
repost something, I definitely.
there are groups of people that work together to get.
Yeah, if I reposted, I'd agree with it. What are you talking about, bro? You also said, when did schools quit teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic and decide to teach deviancy, sodomy, and grooming instead?
That
Okay,
is
so
not-
what
no, hold on a
deviancy?
second, hold on a second.
What sodomy and what grooming?
Hold on a second. You're taking things out of context. That is something that was retruth. That is not something that I posted myself.
Repost. That's what I was literally saying.
A like or a retruth does not mean that you necessarily agree with it.
So then why'd you repost it? Tell me.
Because in social media, you have groups, people that you are not.
So you're
necessarily
amplifying this
aligned with.
message, yet you don't believe in it?
We support each other.
Yeah, you support people who believe this?
If some of my friends do believe that, yes.
And why do you support people who believe this nonsense?
Why do I support people who believe that nonsense? Because they are my friends and I am open-minded.
Yeah, but like you don't just like repost things you disagree with like that. Come on, be so fucking for real.
If you know you're on social media, you know how social media works.
Yeah, I know exactly how social media works. Why the hell would you do that? That still makes no sense. I feel like you
Again,
just
you
don't
know
have the
how social
ability to
media
like
works.
substantiate your position as it relates to these things, and that's why you're not accepting the view, even though you still believe it.
I never said that I believed it.
I never said that you said that, but I'm just saying that I think that you believe this. You just don't know how to defend the view, and that's why you're saying that. Oh, it's just what other people I am friends with believe. That is insane and absurd. That I don't even critique, and yet I repost and retruth it.
No, because if I didn't know how to defend the view, I would tell you that I didn't know how to defend the view.
Oh, okay. Well, then you do know how to defend the view then.
That's not necessarily my view. That's what I'm telling you. That is just something
So
that
then why do you retruth it?
It's a good question. Maybe it's just something I need to think about.
Come on, I really feel like you're running away
No,
from
seriously.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, then I'll ask you about a few things, right? How do you feel about the fact that he was held liable for sexual abuse by a jury of his peers?
I think that was a little frustrating. I followed the case to an extent, but if you look at a lot of, oh, I can't remember her name. If you look at a lot of her posts, I think from a psychology point of view, you'll notice that she's very sexualized, which is a bit of a concern. I mean, come on, she's got a cat named Vagina. Does that not kind of throw up any red flags? I'm not saying that he did or didn't. I'm not saying that she's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that is a red flag and something that people need to kind of take a look at.
Having a cat named Vagina
Yes, she does.
is a red flag and somehow means that
But if you look
ought
at
to
her-
blame the victim.
No, I'm not blaming the victim. If you look at a lot of her posts, that's all she talks about is sex.
Okay.
psychology- from a
Someone
psychology
can
point
talk
of view,
about
that's concerning.
hey, someone can talk about sex in every fucking conversation they have. That doesn't mean it's justified for someone to violate their fucking consent. Hello? Is this
never said
real?
that.
Appreciate that mustache. Thank you so much. What is sexual abuse? Is it consensual? No,
No,
it's not
it's not.
consensual. So
Okay,
Trump
so
being held
first
liable
off,
for sexual
let me
abuse,
give
that's
you-
something non-consensual.
Sweetheart, let me give you a little bit of background about me. I was abused as a child, so I'm not blaming a victim. I just want to make that very clear. What I'm saying is when you're looking at two sides of something, you need to look at both sides. Just because a female is stating that she was sexually abused, we know that there are females out there that will say that they were when they really weren't. Now,
But give me
that's not
reason this
taking-
didn't happen because I can. It was
That's-
wait. I have a question.
I'm not-
If it's a political bias, why wasn't he held liable for grape rather than sexual abuse?
I'm not saying that it didn't happen. All I'm saying is that we got to look at both sides. That's
Yeah,
all.
and I did, right? And what that indicates is that he has been held liable for sexual abuse, and that it's more likely than not that he did this.
Well, when we look at our justice system, we can also look at how many people are charged with something or convicted of something that they really didn't do.
Overwhelming minority of people.
Well, I mean, it happens. And I'm not saying
I'm not
it-
saying it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is that the evidence indicates that it's likely that he did. And oftentimes, if you're talking about people who are more likely to be exonerated for crimes they didn't commit, right, it's going to be people, right, of communities that have been historically oppressed, right?
But we also have
right,
to
and
keep in
still
mind-
continually, right? The exoneration rates for minority communities are significantly higher than that. To mention specifically a rich white guy from
you're
New
right.
York who had a multi-$100 million inheritance.
But we also have to remember that was a civil case, not a
Yeah,
criminal.
right. I mean, yeah. How does that take away from the fact that he did it?
Because you can go through a criminal case and you can be exonerated, and then you can go through that same person can take you through a civil case.
Oh yeah. Was OJ not guilty?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Was OJ not guilty?
I don't know if OJ was guilty or not.
Okay, but like he was held liable in a civil court, but he was not found guilty in a criminal, right? Even though the case that Trump wasn't even, it didn't even go through a criminal court because he's past the statute of limitations. That dumb law.
But I'm saying, though, you can go through a criminal court and you can be found either guilty or not guilty, and then you can go through civil and it could
Yeah,
be
they have
just-
different standards, right? This is so the standard for evidence for the civil court is preponderance of the evidence. What that means is that it's more likely than not. So if you agree with me that the standard is that it's more likely than not that Trump is a sexual abuser, are you okay with that? Like, wait, I have a question. Do you have children?
I do. I have 2 boys.
Yeah. So would you be okay, say like in like if they were like when they were younger in a room alone with Donald Trump?
I think that I would feel comfortable enough with him being around my children. For one, we're looking now, right now, what you're comparing is we're comparing 2 different things. We're comparing children.
If you had a daughter, would you
grown
be okay with him in a room with her?
If she was a grown woman, yes, because
No, I'm talking about a daughter who's literally a daughter who's like, say, 10 years old, because he said to a 10-year-old, I will date her in 10 years. Right?
But yet we've got Biden going around
He
sniffing.
said that about a 10-year-old. Okay?
And a journal-
so, and that's,
and a
would you
journal of
be
his
okay with
daughter.
that? Would you have any concern?
But no, I don't think that I would.
No, you would have no concern.
I don't think that I would, because he
When
said
Trump has gone
anything-
into changing rooms of little girls in Miss Teen USA because he quote unquote owns the place, right? When he said to a 10-year-old that he would date her in 10 years, when he said that he would, right, have dated his daughter if it wasn't his daughter, right? He's thinking those things about his own daughter, right? Someone that he raised, right? Someone that he was with throughout their entire childhood.
Okay, but then
Isn't
you
that
flip the-
disgusting to say?
Okay, but then you let's flip the script here. You're having a conversation about a girl in the men's locker room with your buddies. Is that going to be the same context?
Well, I don't know what you're trying to say. What?
If you were saying something about somebody somebody who, let's say she was 16 and you're a grown ass man and you're saying, I'd hit that in another 3 years.
That's gross as fuck. That is
Exactly.
predatory.
But guys do that.
And that's disgusting.
There's a lot of
Don't
men
normalize
that
that.
do
That's so
that on a
gross. Do not
regular basis.
do not normalize that behavior. That is
I'm
disgusting.
not normalizing, honey.
You
I'm
just
not
tried to.
normalizing it. I'm not normalizing it. I'm telling you, reality.
Yeah, no, but like that's not how it should be, right? You agree?
No, I agree with you.
Then why are you advocating for a president, right, or a former president that literally has engaged in this particular behavior? And he said that he wouldn't have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll, the person who's proven to have sexually abused, because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition, he mistook E. Jean Carroll, the person who's proven to have sexually abused, with his ex-wife. So how the hell can he mistake the two? Right? They look similar enough to mistake the two, but then he also thinks that she's quote unquote not his type insofar as that he wouldn't abuse her.
Again, I go back to his policies.
Well, name one policy that you like of Donald Trump's that he influenced to get past the benefit of the middle class.
One, his tax policies.
His tax policy didn't. Thank you for the Garland. His tax policy
border-
actually decreased after-tax income for the middle class, for the lowest quintile,
Okay,
and increased it
sweetheart,
for the
but
top
I'm-
1%, top 0.1%,
again-
and the highest quintile.
Again, you keep hitting me with that. And I told you when I came into this live that the reason why I'm doing it is because of how it affected me and my own personal experience.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you is that for the middle class, right, it decreased the after-tax income.
Okay, so let's talk about Biden. Right now, what we're dealing with under a Biden economy, I went from having an extra $2,000 a month to be able to just bank away or invest, and I'm back to living paycheck to paycheck.
How do you know it's caused by Biden?
Well, some of the things that he's done. I mean, let's face it. Anybody that knows anything about the financial sector will know that there are things that roll over from the prior presidency or even the presidency prior to that. So I do take that into consideration. But most people are going to vote with their wallets, and that's why we're seeing an increasing number of people that want to vote Trump. That's why we saw what we did with the union workers in New York just the other day, because they're frustrated.
Yeah, but it's a correlation causation fallacy. So you're predicating your reason for voting for Donald Trump off of a bad reason.
That's your opinion.
No, correlation causation fallacy, right, is not reasonable to believe, because the same reasoning would entail that you believe that Donald Trump caused the 14.7% unemployment that happened under its administration.
The unemployment that happened under his administration came from COVID.
Yes, exactly. Just because two things happened under, like something just happened under his administration doesn't mean it was caused by him. There's an outside factor like COVID.
Okay. I see where
You
you're
see my
going
point
with this.
there?
Yeah, I see your point. And
Yeah.
it is a good point. But I mean, it's not just the taxes, it's the border. We need to get the border under control. And I know that this conversation earlier, but I'm going to tell you that a lot of people don't realize we have to have a balance. We have legal immigration.
What do you want to do at the
for a
border?
reason.
Wait. Do you know how long it takes for people to come to this country on average?
Yes, honey, I do because
It takes 5 to 7 years on average.
on
Do you
a
think
second.
do you think that's an okay system?
My sister-in-law just got her visa to come over here because she had a baby over in the Philippines, and that's where she's from. My niece needed heart surgery, and they had to wait 2 years to get into the country for my niece, who is an American citizen, to be able to get that surgery. Because my brother was not able to work and take care of my niece by himself. So I do
And that
know
should
how
never be
long-
the case, right?
Right. I do know how long it takes for them to get in. But what I also know is we need to have people coming in, it needs to be balanced. We need to have a balanced number of people who are skilled and can go right to work. And then so that our social services system does not get overwhelmed. And when we have millions
People
and
coming into the
millions of
country
people coming
oftentimes
in-
are taking way less in social services than they're actually in which they're putting into the system through taxes, right? Social services, right, are going to be lesser amongst people who are actually immigrating to the country because they have a higher labor force participation rate. So if they have a higher labor force participation rate, that means that more of them are going to be working than, right, the average citizen in the United States, which means that they're definitely going to be, bringing more back into the economy than would be other individuals who would be taking from it or be more likely to receive.
Right, but we're also supporting them for, what is it? I think it's
That's an investment in American
I think it's
citizens long term.
6
And not
months.
only do I think that we should help people who are migrating to the country, we need to help people in this country. There are people in this country involuntarily homeless that we need to deal with, and we need to
Yep.
help people. No one should be involuntarily homeless in this country. Having a home should be a right, universal right to every person.
I
Healthcare
agree.
should be a universal right. Education, and as it relates to the context of college, free public universities. It costs $70 billion a year, 1/10 of our military budget, right? That would make sure everyone in this country has free public universities.
Yeah, and part of the problem too is like you just said, we need to get to the root cause of the whole student loan debt problem. Because if Biden just goes and wipes that out without getting to the root cause, which is the schools are still making the money, and they're going to
I
continue.
think you
to
can help people out, and there's economic benefits of that, but we should also deal with the root cause.
We should. And unfortunately, when it comes to government in general, particularly with politicians, they need to have those campaign talking points so those issues are never going to get resolved. Because if we resolve those issues, they're not going to have those talking points anymore.
No, I think that's a bad point because then there would be no change in our system, which we agree there's change. Just the issue and the reason why.
Bawahnya full pantil, anti selip, anti licin, dan bercecai. Kakak langsung saja dicek udah di Bama sekarang juga. Kak siapa tadi? Kakak Chandra. Nanti bagian luarnya tuh ada logonya Aiko yang bisa menyala jika di kegelapan dan terkenal flash. Terus bagian dalamnya nanti ada 2 lubang ventilasinya. Nanti kakaknya kalau cek sekarang sudah mendapatkan sepaket kaos kaki dan stiker dari Aiko dan dikirim hari ini juga, say. Jadi buat kakak Chandra, langsung dicek dan di Bama sekarang juga. Langsung dicek dan di Bama sekarang juga Kak Chandra. Seperti itu. Jadi buat langsung saja buat Kak Chandra, langsung dicek dan di Bama sekarang juga. Di sana ada itu ya Kak. Di sana ada coffee shop itu Kak. Kak Fazrin. Mau disebelkan etalase berapa lagi saya gitu kalau bisa. Mau di kopi